I didn't start the music. What's wrong with me? All right, well, a little behind. I'm gonna start the music now.
Rocking out with El Slack and Swally. Every week a new episode. Join us in the metaverse. Let's hit it explode. Let's hit explode. Dive deep into virtual reality with our dynamic duo, setting us free from CGI to holograms. We'll explore the possibilities are endless. Let's soar. Enter the metaverse where fantasies come alive. Rocking out with El Slack and Swally. Every week a new episode. Join us in the metaverse. Let's hit it explode. The metaverse where fantasies come alive. Rocking out with El Slack and Swally. Every week a new episode. Join us in the metaverse. Let's hit it explode. Let's hit explode. Let's hit explode.
Oh man, I love that song. The more I listen to that thing, the more it resonates, the more it just fills my heart and soul with just joy and happiness. How are you doing today?
I'm not too bad. And yourself?
I'm better now that fucking every time we start the fucking thing, there's always a fly that just starts one fly. Oh, I'm gonna fuck with you.
Told you, get the bug assault rifle.
I should have got it. I should have got it. I've been waiting for this show for the last couple days. In real life, I got some real fucked off shit going on. My father-in-law's in the hospital, so it's been real weird lately. So I've just been like, oh, I need a break, and this is it. And I'm very happy to be doing this. So,
Well, that's not no good, but hopefully it all works out for you.
yeah, it's gonna be okay. It just sucks at the moment. So, yeah, I'm just happy to be doing this. And I've been off the last 2 days. I'll be off tomorrow too. I've been doing some 3D printing, and I made this little beer can handle thing,
Nice.
so I don't have to like hold the can, because why should I if I have a fucking handle?
Start marketing them, huh?
Whatever. I don't know. I have a 3D printer, so I just start printing shit.
Excuse my coughing throughout the episode. I have got over my COVID and I was good for a few days, and somehow I picked up a cough. I'm definitely not COVID positive again, but I have a cough that not go away, and it's driving me nuts.
I don't know if I could do this with you. I don't know if this is gonna be able to work.
Call it quits. All right, take it off.
Yeah. All right. Goodbye, everybody. No, you're good. You're good.
All right, so what we're going to go over today, usually, of course, we're going to stick with the no plan, no schedule, no organisation setup, but there has been a fair bit happening over the last week.
A little bit
Yeah.
happened.
So I'm going to be doing a new segment on Ben's show on Thursday nights about Sparkler. It's going to focus on Sparkler. Hopefully it'll evolve and progress more into what's happening with Sparkler and all that sort of stuff. And
Got that fucker.
Good work. But we had discussed maybe doing some transfers. I know there's some people still struggling in the world about how to do a transfer, both from MetaMask by
Yeah.
Uniswap, and I obviously can do the what do you call it, BitGet,
BitGet?
which is not much different, but a little bit different. I mean, we can go over those two if you think that's advantageous for people.
Yeah. I did.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. Did you watch the video I did the other day?
Yeah.
I did. Well, I didn't actually get to do it because the fees were too fucking high, but I did manage to do it later. It's the same process. But
Look, I'll be honest. I was watching that video and I'm like, okay, so I haven't used Uniswap personally in probably 2 to maybe 3 years. So clearly they've done, obviously, it's no big surprise, I suppose. They've done some upgrades and advancements in that time. The reason why I haven't used them for so long is because the fees are so high. I tend to avoid them at all costs.
yeah,
If there's a coin that's on Ethereum that I want, generally speaking, I'll go looking for it on a centralized exchange such as Coinbase or Binance or something like that. If it's super keen, then I used to just stick with my method, which was just have the Ethernet MetaMask wallet and connect it up. So that it appears that you can just send your Ethereum straight to Uniswap or something. So they must have like a escrow type account.
yeah. They have. Well, they have a wallet now. So you have a Uniswap wallet, which I have an extension for, and then you have your Uniswap like website, which links to. You can link it to your wallet, your Uniswap wallet, or you can link it to like MetaMask or whatever else. You can even link it to Coinbase, and then you can have it do the swap through the link. I didn't fuck with any of that. I just said, you know what? I discovered that MetaMask also has a swapping function. So once I discovered that, I just been swapping everything through MetaMask. And so when I was making that video and the fees were like, they got up to like $30, I just waited. I did it later that night. It was $5. So,
which is still pretty high. I expect it to be in the $1 to $2 range. There must have just been something going on. There must have been some project that was minting or something. I know there's been a little bit of hype at the minute with ETFs.com being approved and just gone online, I think in the last week or two. So whether that's affected it, I don't know. Like I said, I try to avoid using the Ethereum chain as much as possible because of those high fees, but I can understand why Upland have chosen to use it. It is the biggest and probably the best chain out there, just the best for gaming, but I guess you're not transactioning every single day with Sparklet. You're just making a transaction of buying it and then sending it through. So yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, you get what you pay for, I guess. So you get something that's established and secure.
No, I mean, other chains such as Base would have been a good one, but Base is a little bit more complicated because it would require a partnership with Coinbase, and obviously that's not happening yet.
Right.
But Solana that to me would have been the obvious one. And that's got a huge future by the looks of it, and a lot of institutions are good. Polygon, if you wanted to stay on the Ethereum, so Polygon or Arbitrum or something like that would have been where I would have gone. But they're gone. Maybe they're going to do that down the track. Who knows? But it's probably no reason at this stage.
Maybe this was just the easiest route for them for now to get things where they want to.
And again, we mentioned it last week. It's not the best for US citizens, but the 4 exchanges that they've got themselves on far and exceeded my expectations of what they'll do in terms of centralized. It blew me away with how good at exchange. I mean, basically, if you ask me, they're all tier 2 sort of. I mean, if you're going to put Coinbase and Binance as tier 1 exchanges, they were always going to be pushing shit uphill to get on one of those. But to get on to those ones that they've mentioned, even though you guys can't use it, for the game itself, absolutely phenomenal. So I'm pretty excited by that.
Well, after I got over my butt hurt, look, and the only thing that I'm butthurt about is just I got the FOMOs, and I just want to be a part of all the BitGet excitement and like the staking pool and all that stuff. I just want to be a part of that. That's it, right? I don't give a fuck. I can get with the decentralized exchanges. I can get the Sparklet that I want when I want it. I'm not upset about that at all. Actually, it kind of little bitch ass fun. I lost my train of thought because that stupid fly. Anyway,
you can still get all the coins you want, but you miss out.
I can get everything I need from that. Outside of the one promotion where potentially I could get a chunk of new Spark. But
didn't sit down and try and work out what it is exactly you guys are missing out on. Obviously, there is.
It's just the ticket stuff. That's it.
There's a little bit of staking rewards, and I think I've
Yeah.
staked a bit there, and I've managed to get a little bit of rewards. So you're missing out on that. But I mean, maybe that's a whole Sparklet. So maybe it's not a Sparklet, a whole Sparkworth. So
Yeah.
what's that? Yeah, not a lot at the moment, unfortunately.
No,
So maybe a few dollars there. Yeah, that sort of sucks.
maybe some Bitgate Island property, maybe the car.
Well, you're not missing
You
out
know.
on that. The island property, you're not, because all you need to do is transfer the Sparklet across from anywhere
Yeah,
and into the game, and that's how you register to get on the board for that. So I don't know if they changed that slightly to include you guys, because I think initially it might have been just purely Bitgate, but I think now it's just basically importing Sparklet, so you don't have to get it from Bitgate. Import it.
I'm curious though, why, unless they have like some sort of like behind the scenes partnership, they keep pushing Uniswap. They said you can do it through any
I think
decentralized,
that's
but they
Uniswap's by
specifically saying Uniswap.
on the Ethereum one. Uniswap's by far the biggest and safest, and whether they might not have set up a pool on the other ones, I don't know. I haven't gone looking.
I haven't seen anything.
I don't know off the top of the head. I couldn't tell you a different Ethereum-based decentralized exchange. We call it DEX. I'm sure there'd have to be a bunch of them out there. Like I said, I don't tend to use them to begin with. Little don't go looking for them. I mean, I could tell you the one on Polygon and ones on different networks, stuff like that. But
Right.
Uniswap's by far and away the biggest and best on Ethereum, so that's probably the safest. Probably less chance of people getting scammed, which we saw a message from Upland just I think in the last
Mhm.
few hours or so.
And that's probably what it's about. It's trusted. Like they give you a direct link to Uniswap, so you know you're not getting some fake bogus site. So
Yeah, I think
maybe
it was
they're looking out for the safety of.
mentioned that he had mysteriously had some ETH drained out of his wallet. Unfortunately, the most common way people do get that, basically, whenever you're doing anything in cryptos, like if you're not 100% sure of, you should be using a fresh wallet. So there's no limit
Yeah.
to how many MetaMask wallets you can sign up. So if you're doing something brand new and you've already got coins in a MetaMask wallet, start a new one. Make sure
Mhm.
you get your recovery phrase so you can always get back to it. And you don't even have to recover on MetaMask. You can recover on any other wallet out there, like your Trust wallets and all that sort of stuff. But
Right.
anyway, that's not here or there. So you should always be using a fresh wallet when you're doing something, especially if you're not 100% certain of what you're doing, and that way you're only risking what you're putting there to begin with. So if you're buying $25 worth of something to try it out, the worst case, you're only going to lose $25. But if you've got like a couple of grand worth of some other coin in the background, just sit there waiting for the day to sell, and then you hook up to a site that you think's the right one, but it's not, and then you give them permission to connect, and as soon as you do, a bot just drains it. That's unrecoverable. It absolutely sucks. There's nothing you can do about it. All you can try and do is prevent it from happening in the first place by making sure of your links. And unfortunately, Google doesn't release that too well. So it's not that hard for people that know what they're doing and do this properly to get like an Ethereum, sorry, not Ethereum, a Uniswap site that looks identical. And
Right.
you just type in Uniswap in Google and it comes up as the first search result. The address will be slightly different, but you don't notice that. You click on it, you connect your wallet, and then boom, everything's gone. And you're like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's happened. It hasn't happened to me yet, but I've learned a lesson from other people. I'm very aware of it.
Hasn't happened to me yet either, thank God.
But I mean, you haven't been in crypto if you haven't been part of a scam or part of a rug or all these sort of things.
I was just
yes.
gonna say the worst that's happened to me is I was part of a NFT rug pool, which pissed me off pretty good. But I was only out like I think $100, and
Yes,
so
I was on one.
Yeah.
I'd never been involved in all those things myself, and then there was one on Cardano that's a different, a particular stream recommended. So I thought, I'll go check it out. It looked pretty cute, and that went for a couple of months, and then all of a sudden, boom, it just came up rug pull, and I'm like, yeah, that happens. So now I've got a bunch of worthless pictures, but it's about $100 worth or a couple $100
Yeah.
worth. It happens. Like, I mean, if you don't do
Mhm.
your research and understand what you're getting involved in, which is why you never invest or risk any money you're not willing to lose, because you got to assume that
exactly.
chuck in, you'll never see again, including playing this game. So,
Mhm. Yeah.
so it is what it is. So, so as far as using Uniswap, I would even if it was available in other places, I'd either be using one of the 4 exchanges that Upland did partnerships with, or Uniswap, and that'd be all. I'd be using a fresh wallet just in case you don't, especially if you don't know what you're doing, so you're not risking losing any. And then just the only way you learn is to do it. You just got to try and minimize.
That's how I learn, man. I just have to do it, and that's the only way for me. Like that day we talked, and I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna figure it out. If I can't, I'll let you know, and we'll talk it out. But after you give me just kind of like a general idea, because I haven't really fucked with MetaMask all that much prior to. I just spent the whole day just moving assets over and figuring out Uniswap and figuring out MetaMask, and that worked out fine. And now I have a pretty good understanding about what I'm doing in this room, because it had been, like I said, 4 years or something, 3 years.
Did you get your poker winnings?
Crypto, really.
Did your Ethereum come through from your poker winnings?
No, they haven't sent it yet.
Because it would have been nice to have that on the stream.
I know, that's what I checked right before we started. While I was waiting for you, when you didn't see my messages, I was like, oh, just check.
I don't know what was happening. Anyway, well, that's not talking about that. So do you have any ETH to play with in your wallet, or?
No, look, I FOMO'd out hard. When the price dropped again, I went and I was like, oh, fuck, I better get it. And then, I don't know why, because my own logic tells me it's going to drop even further. But
I wish I could say that the little push that we're seeing up at the moment is a good trend to the right direction, and it is obviously at the moment. I wish I could say that hopefully from here on in, that's what we see.
What's that right now?
I'm 90% confident that we will see new all-time lows in the nearer future than not. And I'll explain all that why on Thursday night. Yeah, I know. I don't think the dropping's over yet, but I'll explain more of that on Thursday night. We won't go into it right now.
Right. Well, and I went on my full conspiracy theory rant the other day. So if anybody's curious about, I don't know, why I think it's going to drop further, I think you could just give that a listen. I don't know. Did you watch that? What did you think? What was I? I
did watch it, but I may have been. I'm not 100% remembering what you said.
Basically, I was saying, in a nutshell, that when I was noticing all like the flood of Sparklet coming in from all of these airdrops, everybody's just getting these massive amounts of Sparklet, and I was like, why the fuck are they doing that? Like, why is there so much Sparklet like being flooded into the market? And then when you would talk to me probably the day before about, hey man, you need to get your factory built, because they keep talking about adjusting, expectations for Sparklet, like what, like how much it's going to cost to start a factory, or not eventually a factory, and then like how much it's going to cost to just have.
They first mentioned that when they first spoke about doing Sparklet in the very first place, they said that, and I remember thinking, basically, there's going to be $1 cost to building an apartment in Upland. They're going to go it's going to cost $100 worth of Spark to build it. So if Sparklet's at 2 cents, it's going to cost 50,000 Sparklet, or whatever the mass is to get it up there. Right. And it kind of put $1 cost to building something as opposed to just the Spark hours, which I didn't like the sound of, but I see where they're coming. You can't really make a comment till you see it working and see if it's good or not. But they then also reiterated that when they mentioned all the airdrops. So they said that there was going to be some balancing because the Spark price is going to be a lot lower than what people expected. So their solution to that, again, I'll talk about this more on Thursday, was to add a bunch of Spark to people. I think you're on the right track. Again, I'll expand more on it on the weekend. The argument that people have against you is the Spark that's airdropped, if I understand correctly, needs to be staked for 30 days. So what we're seeing hit the markets isn't what's being airdropped.
So my thought around just like everything coming in, I don't think that they're going to adjust it within the next. I think they will adjust it slightly after about 30 days. I think once all the staking pool stuff is done, I think August 19th is what I said. I think. Let me look here on my calendar. I said that they're going to flood the market and they're going to watch that price just tank. tank, and then they're going to say, oh yeah, this gives us clear justification to put staking or the Sparklet at this
Suggesting
number.
suggesting that Upland want the price to go down, or that's a deliberate attempt to put the price down, I don't think is correct. I don't think even comes close to what they're actually trying to do. Obviously,
Why
with
do you
some
say
of the
that?
actions they're doing is contributing to that happening. I don't think that that's their intention. I think at the moment, what the price is, as far as they're concerned, is irrelevant, and that probably should be the price. That should be the concern for, unless you're buying some. It really should be. I mean, obviously, it's a great buying price at the moment. The price is
I don't
likely
see how you could think that
He's on
it wouldn't be advantageous to them to do so.
to send it down. No, of course not. I mean, they want the price to go up because that looks better. Like,
Well, it will. But they'll decide when it goes up. If they can get it to drop down, and then they can create demand for it later, and then watch that price just fucking skyrocket. I think they're gonna implement all this utility at the same time. At the same time that they rebalance the Sparklet need, I think they're gonna add the utility for cars. I think they're gonna add.
I don't think so.
They're gonna do all the rebalancing.
I think they've got a limited building team there, and I think there's only so much they can do at one time.
I agree. That's why I think it's 2 months out.
The last, yeah, but it's not. They're not going to be able to implement Spark utility onto cars if they haven't done it already. That's probably going to take some time for them to do it. I don't think it's too far away. It's probably going to happen.
Maybe they've already done it and they're just waiting for the right time. They're waiting to pull the trigger.
Potentially. I mean, I've certainly been wrong about things in the past, and I'll be wrong about things in the future. But my experience is Upland doesn't happen in a hurry. Nothing in Upland happens in a hurry. I just don't see it happening. They do need to improve Spark utility between now and the next 12 months because we're coming into a bull run. If they want to take advantage of this crypto train ride that we're now on, they need to improve that significantly. I won't argue that one little bit. I mean, I'm the first to say there's lots of different ways they can improve that. I've been banging on about the ornament challenge as one way. I mean,
I think they will August 26th.
How a micro house in that challenge is worth the same as an apartment building just baffles my brain. I just think that's just such a waste of an opportunity there to have a demand for bigger and better buildings and reward players for that as such. There's lots of things they can do to improve it. I'm just holding my breath that it happens sooner rather than later.
Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna put my foot down. I'm gonna draw the line in the sand. I'm saying August 26th. They're rebalancing. They're making an announcement, and to soften the blow, they're saying, "Hey, you're gonna use Sparklet for gas. Maybe you're gonna use Sparklet to repair your car after a race. Maybe they're gonna implement some kind of damage in racing or driving." I can't remember all the things I said that they were going to do off the top of my head right now, but I think there's going to be some challenge for BitGet Island once they give out all those properties. That's going to have something to do with Sparklet. They're gonna launch the legit factories. You can start applying for legit factories, and that you're gonna have to be able to burn Sparklet or your
They will have to rebalance Sparklet before they do that. That's 100% correct. Because
I think it's all happening at the same time.
No,
August
because
26th.
they need. Maybe something happens on that date. I hope you're right. But the thing is, they need to implement something and then let it settle down and see if it's working and what problems they have before they do too much at once and everything breaks, and then we've got all sorts of problems and maintenance for hours. No, my gut says no, but we'll see who's right. We'll see who's right.
Look, I'm a big fan of being wrong. I enjoy it.
Right on the whiteboard. I just don't think we'll see certain things for a long, long while, but we'll figure that out later.
Yeah.
So,
anyway, that was just my conspiracy rant. It's fun to make bold predictions and see what hits or sticks.
All right, so you don't have any Ethereum in your wallet to play with.
No,
Do we?
I thought so. After my third place finish, I was so bummed. That we couldn't make the final. Just so everybody knows, like we played in this poker tournament. Actually, Swarley hooked me up with the ability to play in this poker tournament. So when I get a chance, I just so happened that the reason I was actually even in that poker tournament is because I got the call that my father-in-law went to the hospital, and so I left work, and it was a really great distraction. So I jumped on and was playing, and then we made it to the final four, and Swarley took a big swing and missed.
Oh, I just got unlucky. You get
You did. You had good cards. You had good cards. You just had better.
final four. Your second tip lead. You've got pocket queens. You raise, get put all in. Like you're not folding. Like you get.
No, I was
there's only
doing the
two
exact same
hands.
thing.
There's only out of all the different combinations of hands, there's only two that can beat me. And at that point, you're like, well, if he's got one of those two,
Good
maybe
on
I
him.
get lucky. But shit happens. I'm not dirty about that because it's just bad luck. I mean, if I had the aces and they got cracked by the queens, then I'd be dirty.
Right.
But I had the queens, he had the aces, and he went from being short stacked when we got to the final table to chip lead, and I was on the way out.
And he was trying to lose too. He was trying to give up.
No,
So
because
early.
the only way you can play when you're short stacking on the bubble is aggressive. It's the only way you can
Yeah.
play, and he did that, and he did it well, and he picked his moments.
He
There was one or
did.
two times I undenied about calling him, but I just could not find the right hand. I had like an ace 3 and an ace 7 and all this sort of stuff. And
You found the right hand against me.
Well, ace king was the first time in the whole tournament I had ace
Wow.
king, and I thought you would have called me, and I figured either one of us win, then that person would get the at least third prize and the
Yeah.
chips. And for some reason you folded, and like even if I didn't, like in your situation, I would have called even because you got
Well,
to.
because like I told you, I was playing. I just wanted to get in the money because I was like, well, if I can do that, then I can buy more sparklets. I was like, fuck it, whatever. I don't want to take any more of your chips or lose all of my chips. So I'm like, I just want to stay in the game. As long as I stay in the game, I still got a chance. And I knew if I lost that one, I'd be done.
Would have been a classic race anyway. It was ace king versus pocket nines.
Yeah.
I'd say that you're going to win 51% of the time, or something like that, or 50.5% of the time.
Mhm.
But my theory behind it was, and I couldn't communicate with you quick enough, was let's just go all in together. One of us is going to get knocked out. The other one's obviously going to cash, and you're going to whichever one has the chips. It wasn't like we're colluding and here's all my chips and you go play. It was like, oh, let's just go heads up. One of us will go on to at least get third spot, and with the other one's chips. Problem is when you got 30 seconds to work, it's hard to sort of chat in the background. But
Yeah, any normal situation, I 100% would have. And had it not been you, I probably would have still.
thing is, I would have gone all in because you were first away. I think you were under the gun. I would have gone all in just straight away because you were short stack then. So with nines, and hope that at the very least that everyone would just fold. I mean, you can't win by people folding, but at least you pick up the blinds and you can sit there for another round. As it turned out, I had ace king. I would have called you if you had done that, and then as I said, if I bet you, I was always going to give you the money so you could use the Ethereum on the stream.
Well, that would have been really sweet of you.
I mean, $50 of Ethereum isn't going to make a big difference for me, but I thought it might help a smaller account like yours and use it as a demonstration. But sadly, it hasn't come through yet.
Yeah, I wish. Anyway, so at the end of the day, I managed to stay alive. So I think it was a net victory. Maybe not for you, but
I had to wake up. I didn't wake up till 30 minutes into the tournament.
Yeah.
I was lucky because it depends on the person that runs it with how long he puts up the tournament before it starts as well. So I woke up during the night and I saw a message on there saying the tournament had opened. So I was like, okay, I'll register and went back to sleep.
I thought you were at work.
No. I was asleep. So I did my 2 night shifts and I didn't feel like doing a third. So I was like, I really don't care if I play or I don't.
I thought you had just gotten off of work and then just stayed up the whole time. That's why I kept asking if you're going back to bed.
No. I'd been asleep So I'd woken up like 4 in the morning or something like that. Saw the tournament was open, so I registered and went back to sleep and woke up at 6:30, about 30 minutes in. And to be fair, I was down about 500 or 600 chips out of 5,000, which is no big deal. And in those situations, I like to just play aggressive. I figure if I lose, I go back to sleep. If I win, then I'm in a good position. And I just could not find a hand to be aggressive. I just kept getting crap. And I even like playing suited connectors. So if I got 5-6 or 7-8 suited connectors, I would have put stuff like that. But I was just getting my ace 2 and king 4 and just crap hand after crap hand, and just couldn't find a spot. And I just kept hanging in there and win a little hand here and there and stuff like that. And I saw you were next to me at one point, and you went to a different table, and I'm just hanging. I'm like, I just wanted to either play aggressive or go home. And I just couldn't do either. And it was like,
right.
Oh.
I was trying to play really aggressive before I lost service. I only had like
My bad.
I only had like 4 hands before I lost service, and then when I came back, we were still at the same table together. And then it wasn't shortly after that where it moved us, and then I won some big hands just because I was being aggressive, and I was like, I got the odds are in my favor on this one. I got the top pair, and this guy's going big. I'm like, I got the top pair. I should not be folding.
Well, you did lose one big hand to me, didn't you?
I did. That's the one I was originally talking about. The one that was a bad beat, where I had you beat and then you fucking rivered me.
Yeah, but whose fault was it that you allowed me to river you?
It was mine. I let you in too cheap.
Yep. You only put a big blind bet out there, which
I know. I bitched out.
Was less than half a pot size, and I've got pocket queens, and there's a king on the. So as soon as that king came out, I'm like, okay, he's gonna most probably have the king, and I think you just put a pot size bet out, and I called it, and then another king came out. Now that second king's interesting because you're either super strong or you don't have the king. So when the second king comes out, the chances of you actually having a king obviously is reduced. Right. I don't know for sure you've got a king, but I suspect that you did, and I'm looking at that going, all right. Chances are I'm absolutely blown out of the water here, but I don't know for sure. And then you just put another little bet out there, or you might have even checked. I can't remember, but either way, it was either a little bet or you check. And I'm like, well, he's not really blowing me out of the water with the bets, which is what you should have done.
100%. Yeah.
I'm sitting on pocket queens, going, I'm pretty sure I'm beat here, but for a pot size, not even a pot size, just minimum bet. I'm like, I'll call. Mind you, minimum bets weren't small. And then hit the river like the 2 outer. In fact, there was only a 1 outer because one of the other players showed a queen. So there was only 1 queen left in the deck, which has got to hurt even more.
It did, yeah. Like I wasn't even worried about it. I was like, I'm just gonna see if I can milk some more money out of him. Is what I was trying to do. I thought there's no fucking way that you're pulling a queen, and then it, you got me at the end. But that sucked. But I mean, that's okay. That's the way it goes.
The only problem with from my point of view, your play on that one is, come the river, I'm either smashing your king, or you had a full house. You had kings over 5s.
Mm-hmm.
I was either smashing your kings over 5s, or I was well beat. Either way, you're not going to end up with you're not going to end up with a lot of chips. You're either going to get folded on, or you're going to get smashed, which is what happened in the end. But the action
I should have played it differently,
The action should have all been on the turn.
Yeah.
Because that was where the speculation was still beat. I mean, mind you, you put a decent bet there, I fold. And we'd never know that the queen comes.
Right.
If you put
I definitely didn't play that strong enough. I didn't play I didn't play that one like I was winning. I was playing that one like I didn't want to lose.
Yeah, so you flopped. So what did you do? You flopped king 5, didn't you? So you flopped 2 pair.
Yeah, I flopped 2 pair and then turned the full house. And then I think, I don't remember exactly, but then I know that you had queens and kings?
Queens over kings, but that doesn't make sense because kings and 5s beat queens and kings. But I can't remember now what it was. All I know is that Queen River gave me queens over kings, and that beat whatever you had. So you must have.
I thought you had a full house too.
Maybe you didn't have the full house. Maybe you just had the trips.
Maybe. I can't fucking remember. Whatever. Yeah. You beat me.
It was 6:30 in the morning for me, so I don't know.
I think at that point I had stopped driving, and I told my sister-in-law, I was like, hey, give me like 15 minutes and I'll take you home. And then I went and sat down. And then after that, I was really starting to pay attention. So who knows what the fuck I was doing.
Yeah, anyway.
To get to that point, I was driving the whole fucking time.
You should have kept driving, because when you were driving, you were chip lead.
I know, I was doing great.
Driving, you went down.
And then I started overthinking and fucking playing like an idiot, and you know,
You can't
whatever.
overthink. You can't overthink Texas Hold'em.
You
You just got to
cannot.
play. You just got to play the odds, and if you get beat, like if you got pocket queens 4 up, and you get beat because someone's pocket aces, ain't much you can do about it. In fact, I'd argue that there's barely a pro in the world that would fold in that situation. So you certainly can't be dirty. When it's just unlucky. It's not bad beat. Not like that other guy was crying and bitching and carrying on. You know, but such is life. So
Yeah, I mean, that's what I love about poker, man. You know, anything can happen. Anybody can be anybody. It's just a fucking fun game. I love it.
all right, that's what I was going to do. I've got sidetracked. I was going to see if I have any Ethereum in my MetaMask. Although I wanted you to do this, but
Yeah, you did.
okay. What have I got?
What are you working on right now? You're looking at moving some Ethereum.
In that wallet, no, because I got a lot of Matic, but no. Let me check a different wallet. That wallet has no Ethereum, a little bit of Matic, Polygon.
Still no ETH on that one.
That's because I'm not on the Ethereum network yet. I'm so stupid. I got $65 Australian, so what's it, about 20 cents American of ETH on this one. So we can do a demo if you want to run through it. Although it's how you do it and how I've learned to do it in the past are 2 different things because it's changed, but we can still fuck around.
Yeah, go for it.
Let me just bring up. All right,
There's a
so
little bit of a pump on Sparklet, which is cool. Just a smidgen.
all right,
Last
bear with
24
me.
hours of cleanup.
Up screen for a sec. Oop. So you can see my All right, so this is the dangerous way of doing it. It's the Google Uniswap.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't do that, but you make sure the address is right. I know the address pretty well.
Yeah.
I know this is the right one. So uniswap.org. What you should be doing, especially if you're not sure of it, is going to a source that you do trust, like CoinGecko will do.
Like Upland, and it
Like
links right to it.
So if you wanted to buy Sparklet, so let's even do it with the proper. Why is that not coming up? Yeah, just need to chuck in the L as well. All right, so you're looking at Sparklet. That chart looks all right for a 24-hour one.
Yeah, it's not bad.
So all you need to do, the safest way to do it, if you want to buy Sparklet, you're not sure where to get it from, is you come down to the marketplace and you look at all the different options where you can get it from. They even show you. So these 2 sites, moderate transactions, but you know the rest of them are pretty high. The volume, stuff like that, so BitGet, blah blah blah. So if you got an account at Central, happy days, one of these centralized exchanges. Otherwise, if you haven't, you can go to Uniswap, and if you click on that, it'll take you straight to the site anyway. And you know that you're on the right site if you do that when you go from a trusted source, as opposed to Googling it like I did. So let's stick with the one that I've. Now, obviously, all this is new to me, so I've not done this before in terms of logging into Uniswap and stuff like that. I've just never ever participated in it. So this is going to be a little bit new for me. There's I need to search for Sparklet. Alright, so we search for Sparklet on the site. There we go. So we're on Uniswap. So then all we need to do is connect our MetaMask wallet, which I've already done.
Are you still on CoinMarketCap?
No. So I've clicked on the link from CoinMarketCap. Oh, that's. Yeah, I have to. I thought I went to the Uniswap one.
No, not yet.
CoinMarketCap. Oh, I don't know what I clicked on the wrong thing.
Oh, you just didn't click on the link for it.
Click on the.
You were on the right track before. Go back down. And then click on Uniswap.
Here.
Click that. Yep.
So I normally use CoinGecko, so this is different to what I'm normally used to. But I know this is the more popular site.
Yeah, just click that one, and then you can go to the link that they had on there.
This one.
And then, where did it go?
I thought that just took me straight to.
No, go back one more. Just
I want to go to my preferred, because I use this one more. I prefer this one.
You sound like a squirrel here.
Underrated website, this CoinGecko. It's
Yeah.
I've only ever really used. I've never really used CoinMarketCap. I don't know how markets work. They've recently changed all their services. All right, so if I now go to here, so that just takes me straight to the.
Oh yeah, like on CoinMarketCap, you click on, and then it has a link that you have to click on second.
All right. I should change that from. I hate white screen. Anyway, so we're on the Ethereum network. We've got Sparklet USDT.
Yep.
I want obviously for that to be ETH, and I want it to be swapped around. So I've got ETH. I want Sparklet.
Yep.
So I want to sell my ETH. I want to buy Sparklet. So.
And you're already connected.
All right,
you already
so
got your account.
So we've got the Ethereum swap site. We've got my wallet. I'll bring that up again, so people can see. It doesn't show the full address, but anyway, so I can let's expand that so I can not lose it at all. All right, so you can see here I've got 65 AUD, so about 28 cents American. So it's showing here. So if I wanted to do max. Hang on, why is that not giving me the whole amount? So that says it's $65 there, but when it comes up here, it's showing as $9.
That's because what is the gas fee on there?
$2.
Oh, well, that doesn't make any sense then.
No. That's a straight swap. But I mean, you can do limit buy stuff like that. I don't want to do that because it takes time. You got to wait for the price to hit what you've set it at, which is good if you want to set it at like 3 cents and go away. It'll cost you a transaction fee to do that and wait for it to hit that price because it obviously takes the money, waits, and if you cancel it, you'll lose those fees.
Just manually put in the number. I had this problem as well. So look at your MetaMask and what your number actually is. And then just type it in.
$213 is about $50. That's weird. That why you hit max and it doesn't.
Yeah, it's fucked off. I don't know why it does that.
All right. Well, anyway, 0.013. So what's that? 1.1% of an Ethereum. So huge dollars being spent here, but that'll leave with all that other. Those chains will leave a tiny bit left behind.
All right, so that'll insufficient ETH balance.
I wonder how much more do I need to put in there to get that?
You have the right account linked?
Yeah. Yeah. See, 9. That's probably a good point. There are multiple ones, but you can see I'm using account ending in 919. So we're connected with 919. We're on the Ethereum network. You can see Ethereum network. I've got 0.13 Sparklet exactly. Sorry, Ethereum. All right, we're just going to do that anyway. So we'll insufficient balance. So suddenly I can't do that much because I don't have enough of gas fees. So we do 1.2.
There you go.
All right, so that should leave us enough for the gas fee. So $2.65 gas fee, which sucks, but it is what it is.
And then you'll approve it.
All right, so we just double check the gas fees here. Estimated $4.45. See how it changed and almost doubled.
Mm-hmm.
So
wait a minute, it might drop and then let you confirm.
You don't have enough in it to pay this. And this is the problem with Ethereum.
Yeah, if you wait a minute, it could drop. This is what happened to me, and then I just sat there for a couple minutes and then waited for a new quote to come through, and then I hit confirm. But if you don't want to, you can always just drop it again.
It went up. Alright, well, I'm not really too stressed about it. It's going up. We'll just drop it down a little bit more then. We'll do 0.11. That should leave enough.
Yeah.
Alright, so hopefully it's hasn't gone up over $5 again. It has. I still don't have enough. How much do I need to... So that's only $36 and it's only $5 for... I hate Ethereum. This is why I hate Ethereum.
I know. The fucking gas is ridiculous. It's the most annoying fucking thing.
And of course, it seems, even though it's late night for you guys, it seems to be peaking out. Let's just do 1% of Ethereum. Let's see if that'll work. And this is why you want a centralized account.
Oh my fucking god.
So even though I've got $65, I'm only spending $30, and it's going to cost $5 in transaction fees, they're telling me I still can't do it because it's going to cost too much, and I don't get why. All right, so let's leave that for a minute.
Yep.
Let's go over to BitGet. I've got that up and ready to go. All right, current price. So we've had a little bit of upwards in the last day or so. Don't get excited. It's not really worth getting.
Yeah. It went up. Well, it went up 30% in the last 24 hours.
Yeah, but you know, movement up and down when a coin is at this level is absolutely.
It's a non-factor. Don't even pay attention to it.
So I've got a little bit of USDT waiting to spend, so we'll leave that there. I've got my Sparklet, so I've got. Well, let's just transfer that. That must be the bit I'm earning on the side.
From the pool?
From the pool. So what's that? $1 worth. So 294 Sparklet. So we can withdraw this. So we know what our address is because it came up over here.
You probably don't have enough Ethereum for the gas fee. No, you probably do.
No, we do. We rejected that. Oh, no, it's letting me do the transaction now. Fuck yeah. We'll come back to you later. We'll see if the gas fees have come down. Oh, that's why it wasn't working, because I had multiple ones. I hadn't cancelled any of them. All right.
Oh.
Live and learn.
Fucking rookie move, man.
Live and learn. All right, so we've got our address here, so we can copy our address. So you just click on that, copy it. So we're going to withdraw. So unfortunately, you normally want to avoid doing this, but unfortunately you have no choice but to pick the Ethereum network. This might not let me do it actually. So you chuck in your withdrawal address. Just double check that 919 is the right address, because once you hit send, you cannot undo it. Confirm that you received blah blah blah. Yep. So let's go to the next page. Security responding. 2FA. I don't know if I set that up or not.
Oh, your authentication. Two-factor.
Disabled. Oh, damn it. See, this is the problem. I have yet to use a withdrawal from BitGet. More secure. Was that what? Them sending me a message? Maybe I should have done a test one.
Unacceptable.
Alright, this one will be easy enough to do. I have this already going on my phone. Give me 3 seconds. Sorry, guys, to fuck around.
I know.
Add a new
We've
one.
lost all of our viewers from the moment we started doing this.
BitGet's now added. So I can put in my key 66968. It just changed, of course it did. If you didn't already know, this changes like every minute or something. I'll check my email. FYI, it's not the same email I use for Upland people, so don't try and do a James UK on me. Not that my full email's not there anyway, but
I should find a way to block out my email when I stream it. Sometimes I forget, and it just shows up.
does it? I've not noticed, but
Well, that's good to hear.
Oh, okay. So now their email's going to take forever. I know. Has it not sent it? That'd be why. I'm sitting here waiting for the email. It hasn't arrived, and I've got to hit send apparently.
God damn, this beer is good.
Alright.
This is the beer I was gonna send you. This 3-way IPA. This is an Oregon beer. If we decide to take this bet,
We'll talk about
for USA and soccer.
All right, so I've got my 3FA. 2FA is now signed up, so now I can go back to trying to. Sorry, guys, for stuffing around again. All right, that's that overview. I don't really know my way around Big Get yet because I only signed up a week ago. Right,
yeah, I mean, either I can't do anything with it other than just sign up for an account as long as I use my VPN.
Oh, I've got a tiny bit of these still there. I had some ETH transferred across that I sold for USDT to buy more Sparklet with, and it didn't sell all of it, so that's interesting. Not sure why, because the price went well above the price I'd set. Anyway, so we've got 294 Sparklets, so let's withdraw
It
this.
could have been because you can't send over denomination under 10.
Oh. 10 Sparklet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Well,
I think it's silly, but whatever.
Ordinarily, I'd just do all this in one hit because it's going to cost transaction fees multiple times. So, all right, so now we're good to go. Sorry about all this. We're on BitGet. We found our Sparklet. We're going to send all I've got available. This is not all I've got available, but a lot of it's staked at the moment. This is rewards from staking. So that's probably what I've received for about 24 hours. So that's what you're missing out on. It's good. It's bonus Sparklet, I guess, but it's not.
Yeah. It's like a third of one.
For 24 hours, yeah. All right, so blah, blah, blah. So making sure that your address is correct. So we're checking the D919, which is correct. All good. All right.
And you're withdrawing this to your... Just
to
to
my
BitGet.
MetaMask. From BitGet to my MetaMask is how you get it to Upland.
Okay.
So we showed our MetaMask.
So you can't send it directly from BitGet to Upland?
No, it's got to be middleman.
Okay.
All right, so we go to our...
Well, then what's the point of having the link to Upland? Is that just to show that you have an account so they can verify?
Say that question again, sorry?
So their point to having you put your account into Upland, is that just for verification purposes? That has nothing to do with
MetaMask.
Sparklet over?
Oh no, that's just a I think part of the competition. So if you're both an account holder at Upland and
They
BitGet,
just want to verify.
they just want to see that that way you're eligible for the competitions that they're trying to run.
Okay.
I don't think it's got anything to do. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, because I could be, but as far as I understand it, right, we're just going to get 3208080. 100. You have 123, so they've taken, what's that, 160,
Like half of it, yeah.
Yeah, that's why you don't do it in little bits and pieces, because it'll cost the same whether I'm transferring 300, 300,000. The fee would be exactly the same. So this is why.
Well, and if you're in the USA or another country that doesn't have the ability to do it like this, they would just take Ethereum instead, and so all of it would go over. They wouldn't charge you any Sparklet; they just charge you Ethereum.
All right, so then you can usually check your transactions. What's that on here? Or the history? No. Oh, transfers. Transfer records. I don't know. Again, I don't know how to use the site properly. There'll be somewhere where I can look at pending transactions. If I could even look up on the blockchain like what transaction number it was. We could go look at that on. Again, we don't really care too much about that. I just can't see where. There you go. Site processing. So let's just turn the bottom here. So Ethereum's a little bit slow too. So a transaction where we've got to wait for 3 minutes in Upland for something to happen, if you stake them Spark or buy a property, all that sort of stuff, because it'll all to get confirmed on the blockchain. Ethereum is often longer than the 3 minutes. So
Well, while we're waiting, so earlier today, I probably mentioned this in the chat we were in. I was going to buy that $50 sweetener sale, and then I talked myself out of it because I wanted to buy the Fifi dog, because I had a good chuckle about Fifi masturbation tools and the dog. I thought it was funny. So I was like, I want that dog because it reminds me of work.
I forgot all about these. So you're talking about this stuff here.
Yeah, that dog. His name's Fifi. But at work, where I work, a
Yeah,
Fifi is what you use to masturbate in or with. They'll make them out of socks and lotion and gloves, and they'll just go to town. It's gross. And so we'll find them all the time at work. Like, ah, crap, they made another Fifi. We toss it in the trash. And anyway, so it just makes me laugh. I wanted it so I could just have a good chuckle. But then I said, you know what? I'll just buy the fucking dog later on the secondary market. So instead, I took the $50 I was going to put in on that to buy the 50 Upix, and I just bought $50 worth of property off the secondary market.
And then, yeah.
And then
that's from you. All right, so something very important that I forgot to mention, and this is something that people may struggle with. Let's assume that transfer has gone through, and you're looking at your list of coins that you have, and most of these they're all empty. It's all just crap that I've been stuff around with for years. But you don't see a Sparklet there, do you?
Nope, no Sparklet.
Because you need to manually add a coin to your wallet. They don't just show up every single coin that you ever have. You've got to manually.
Sometimes it does. If you refresh the list, sometimes it will say, "Hey, we've discovered a token."
Maybe they are getting better at it. Again,
just refresh your list and see if it pops up first.
I haven't even sure that it's actually gone through yet. I'll have to refresh.
Oh, that could be it. Because mine has auto detected. Now you do have to turn that on in the settings.
But this is such a small amount too, and 193 at 3 cents. It's like a couple of dollars, so it may not register.
It'll register.
So you got your tokens, not Sparklet, which is fine. So we know it's gone through. We know it should be here in the tokens, and it's not here. So which means you just need to add the coin itself to the thing. So if you go in here and type in Sparklet, I'm willing to bet it's not going to come up, which is what most people will try and do and go, well, it's not there. Why is it not showing up? So you go custom tokens, and then so it's not. So do a search doesn't work because Sparklet's so new. It's not common enough.
You have it set up in your settings to auto detect.
I don't know. I'm going through this way anyway in case people don't have it, same as I do.
Yeah.
So what you need, and you would have seen this posted, I think in Upland they've posted it a couple of times, is what's called the contract address, which is in the info. So again, if you go back to a reputable source such as MarketCap or CoinGecko, where you get your links from, you also get your contract address, which is going to be, it's fairly safe. So
and Upland posted that contract address.
Yeah. So
in their post.
You get it from the place that you trust and not from just some random person who knows what. All right, so again, we want to import a token. So if we put in the contract address here, probably won't work still because I think it might do a oops. Yeah, so it's still not working. So let's try a custom token. So, all right, so as soon as you put it in there, up comes the symbol, up comes the decimal points. That's all you need to do. Just hit next, and then there's my 123 out of 297 tokens. Mm-hmm. I've lost more than half, but shit happens. So we can import that into my wallet. So now when I look at my wallet, so instead of panicking and going, I don't see my Sparklet, it is there. You just import the token, and there it is down the bottom. Not
and
the right.
If you go in the settings, Warley, I bet you just don't have the thing turned on where it auto detects. Is my guess.
Probably not.
Because for mine, it just came up automatically because I have the auto detect on.
The problem with that is having the auto detect, and this is a reason why you really shouldn't probably turn the auto detect on, is especially on Binance, because obviously you can just swap your networks over. So you go like the Binance chain, close that down so you can see what coins I've got on Binance. A lot of these coins, most of these are all good, but you will get sent just random shit all the time.
Yeah.
And you look at it and you go, well, hang on, I've got 1.8 million of these coins. This must be worth something. And you look it up and go, oh, I have to connect my wallet to this address to be able to sell my coins or something like that. That's where you get scams. So having auto detect on is not necessarily a good thing, because you'll start seeing all this shit pop up in your wallet that you don't want to, that you know nothing about, and you're better off not doing anything about it. So
well, and just like Upland said, if it looks too good to be true, it is. So if you get random tokens sent to you, which might show up anyway,
99.9% of the time, it's crap. Having said that, it does happen. I know. I think it was Dogecoin sent. Not Elon Musk. What's the founder of Ethereum? Mental blank on his name at the moment. They sent him a bunch of his Dogecoin back when it was worth nothing, like millions of dollars worth of it. So obviously, people can send stuff to you. If something shows up in your wallet that you didn't know about, you might want to check it. But I would expect, if you just assume that it's a scam, you're probably going to be safe. And if you can prove that it's not a scam and it's a legitimate coin, and you've now got this coin, like a proper airdrop, that happened on my Solana account. I got dropped a little bit of, when they opened up the DEX, because I've been using Solana, and I got 200 coins worth about $300 or something. You know, it's nice. So it does happen, but usually I would argue against having the auto detect on, because there's just too much shit. Not so much on Ethereum, but definitely on these other cheaper chains where they can send you stuff at next to no, basically zero cost to them.
Right. Yeah, I had when I don't remember what I did. I moved some coins over, and then I automatically got some of these two random coins. I don't know what the fuck they are, but I just hid them so I don't have to look at them anymore, because
but that's why you
not even fucking with it,
because you'll have maybe 1 in a million, but you'll know about an airdrop that came your way, and then you'd go find the coin and add it to your thing rather than have auto detect. So Binance chain is by far the worst, but there's scams on every chain, including Ethereum. It's up to you. You can turn it on or don't turn it on, but I personally wouldn't, because I'd rather not know about the crap. I mean, if I turned it on and saw all the stuff that was in that wallet, and you can go look at the blockchain and have a look at what's in the wallet, and you'll see just lists and lists of just crap that's worthless, but they look like they're not, and you go and try and connect your wallet, bang, everything in your wallet's gone, and it's just not worth it.
If I don't know what's coming, I just hide it. I just ignore it. So I don't even fucking pay any attention to it.
Alrighty, so going back to MetaMask, so we now know we've transferred it out of BitGet into MetaMask, and we've got 123 tokens. Woohoo, go us. So I haven't done this yet, so I'm learning myself here. So if I remember correct,
in the portal.
That was portal, was it?
Yep.
Just remembering what the setting was. I did find it the other day just out of interest, but.
And then
download NFT, Sparkle it from Upland, or bring Sparkle to Upland. So pretty self-explanatory. I like the way they've worded it. You can't really stuff that up.
Yeah.
You probably shouldn't be mucking around with this stuff. So you can see I've already linked that account. So
but just make sure you're confirming that is the same address that you're owning.
I always just use those last 4 digits. Like all my different accounts all have last 4 digits are different, so I know my accounts, especially the main ones that I use, because of the last 4 digits. So this is one of the main ones I use. So that's the account I want. Obviously, I'm assuming you can link multiple if you needed to here.
You can, yeah. I have two.
So mapping your account, but we'll just go with proceed. So the amount we want. So we know we've got 123, was it?
I think so, yeah.
And have a look. Sparkle at 123.8. We won't worry about the 0.8. We'll just do the 123, which is
we'll have to do 120 because it won't let you do 3.
Won't it?
Nope. Hey. Has to be multiples of 10.
It even says that in the Right, well, let's just. I need to cancel that. Otherwise, it's going to keep winning it. Use MetaMask to go away.
It's a vortex.
All right, so that's 120. All right, so I was going to say, it shouldn't make you re-log on. All right, so we're going to transfer from my MetaMask account 123. We could go max, but we have established that 123 is not allowed. So we'll do the 120 through 120. So it's going to estimated fee is about 63 cents. So if you left a little bit of Ethereum in your wallet, which I have, which should be good.
What you have to do, you got to make sure you have a little bit in there.
I thought
do it.
Yeah, so you could pay the gas fees for that, but that must be only sending it out, not sending it in.
Yeah, when you told me that, I was like, yeah, I'm not seeing that at all. Every single time I had to pay.
So it must be if you're sending your Sparkler out of Upland, you can pay the gas in UpX. But if you're sending it in Upland, I thought it was both ways. Obviously, I misunderstood that. Clearly, it charged me a little bit of Ethereum. But mind you,
if you're in BitGet,
it was like 35 cents or something. It was nothing compared to the other one, which was $5.
Yeah, if you're in BitGet and you are just buying Sparklet, you're gonna be kind of fucked because you have to have Ethereum as well.
Now, if we had a leaderboard, I could go to leaderboard and see how much I
I want a leader. Where the fuck is this leaderboard? When's it showing up?
I haven't done it. I was on Discord.
I want to be in the top 288. Damn it. I'm out of beer. I have to go get another one soon.
Oh, we're just waiting for this to tick over. I thought it did, but then it popped up again. So I don't know.
This is the first time I've used this handle, and it's a game changer. Not gonna lie.
I can't see it.
Not gonna lie.
All right, your Sparklet is on its way. The transaction has been processed. Again, you can go look at the blockchain if you really wanted to and see your transaction. So if we look at this, should be able to see, unless you say how that converts into Sparklet. I don't know how they figured all that stuff out, but where are we? We should have
transaction hash.
So I'm assuming that's Upland's wallet. So you're going from my wallet to Upland's wallet. Here we go. So 120 tokens of Sparklet. That's my fee for it. So more.
And then top it's a success.
So that's gone through as so it's not. It's exactly right. So it's processed. It's finished. So we should be able to see that in Upland. Which means I should have
a little bit of time for it to come through.
Well, I should have 120 extra, not that 40. So we'll give it a couple of minutes, but yeah, should have another 120 today.
Yeah.
So it's come through to Upland's account, so maybe it takes them a little bit of time to process it, because I'm assuming it's all in the one account on Upland.
It does. I did it earlier, and it took probably, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes, and then it showed up.
So that was real. Apart from not having yet already done one and having to set up 2FA, stuff like that, was all relatively pretty easy. It kind of sucks that you do the transfer twice, but you can't send directly from BitGet to Upland. They don't, as far as I know, they do not talk to each other. You need to use the middle person, i.e. MetaMask. It doesn't have to be MetaMask. You can have lots of different types of wallets that you can use. So if you've got a different one you prefer to use, as long as it's on the Ethereum blockchain, you can use that just fine. It'll have a similar, obviously not the same address, but a similar address. You can hook that up to Upland, not a problem. And then, yeah, as long as it uses the Ethereum blockchain. MetaMask. So, why we've got problems over here? I wish I had a whole Ethereum.
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice?
0.1 I want. No, where's my 0?
It was 0.10.
So that. I don't know why that's coming on. Let's just look out so I can say Sparklet's hit on me. So we got it back. Alright, so that's telling me now I'm going to get 700. I probably.
Network cost is $252.
Yeah, but will it let me do it? The transaction is complete. That's from the other one.
Oh, that's the old one.
That's the one from Upland going in, or from MetaMask going to
Upland. 446. Right. You got enough. You can do it.
$404.40 for the fee. What a ripoff.
What a fucking ripoff.
So, we're talking about you're saying editing shorts together. I think you can edit these two shorts into two separate.
Yeah.
Shorts.
This might be a long.
No, you can do it in 30 seconds because you can cut out all the crap and just show the steps. Because obviously the stuff where I have to reset up the 2F or set up the 2F bags, I hadn't done that yet, all that sort of
Yeah.
thing. But this was quite simple. Obviously, you got ETH in your MetaMask. We're going to assume that you know how to set up a MetaMask. If not, Google it because it's pretty simple.
Oh, it's really simple. Like,
I've
yeah.
shown you how to add the coin to the MetaMask if it doesn't show up. That's pretty simple as well. Again, use one of these sites, either CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko. They're both brilliant sites for all the information and stuff that you can find there is absolutely sensational. And they're links that you can, well, at least I feel like you can trust without a problem. So I've just done that transaction. It's gone through, and as you can see, I've now got 693 Sparklet. Yay!
Yes.
So had I not already just done that other transaction, I could have added them together, but that's all right. We're doing them separately, so happy days. I'm not really caring about the
Hey,
cost.
while you're doing this, I gotta refill.
So this process is from this point onwards. The money is now, or the Sparklet is now in my MetaMask. The process does not change. It's identical. So just the only bit that's different is the Uniswap that you would have done if you can't use BitGet, or if you're on BitGet, you're sending it to MetaMask. So that's where the difference is. But once you're on MetaMask, exactly the same process. So if we go back to Upland, go to our portal. So we're going to bring Sparklet into Upland on the Ethereum. It's the same one that we already used. All right, so we're going to add that. We double check how much we got. So 690 is our figure. 690. 1,000 would be nice, but I don't have that much. 690, we're going to submit that. We're going to pay another that's the old message, so ignore that, guys. So it's asking us we want to send 690 to there. We're going to pay a 65-cent fee. That's a lot better than the $5 we just paid. And we're done.
Welcome to the neutral space where we embrace the differences that make us great. Together we create. From coast to coast we boast our adventures.
So if we really wanted to, like we did before, we can view our transaction. So that was our first one where I sent 120 through. Our second transaction, so it's still saying pending, so don't stress if it's not there while it's still saying pending. If it's saying completed and it's still not there, well then you got a problem.
Back. Like I never left.
It's just making us do it twice. So I'm sure it made us do it twice last time as well. That confuses me a little bit as to why it makes it submit it twice. Maybe something I don't understand. Anyway, that's going through, so we're looking good. That's it.
So you got it transferred, and now you're adding it.
It looks like you've got to confirm it twice. I don't know why that is, but both times it was only like 60 cents or something like that, which is still super high compared to other networks. Other networks, fractions of a cent. Ethereum, 60 cents is really good for Ethereum, but it's still probably 100 times more expensive than, say, like a Solana or a Polygon or something like that. But, you know, it is what it is. So there's our transaction. If we really cared, we could look at it on the blockchain. So we can see it says success, happy day. So that's a good sign. We can confirm that it went to the D from the whatever to the Upland account, 690 in Spark. So all those details look correct. We do have to wait some time to make sure it came through. Let's see the first one, the 120's come through. Not yet.
Not yet.
I mean, we can refresh just to double check, I guess. But yeah. So it looks like it does take a little bit of time to come through, maybe more than the 3 minutes that everything else takes. But
Yeah, it takes a while.
so the process is really simple. LSlack might be able to snap together. I have one of his minions snap together a bit of a short that we can put together.
I'll try. The shitty thing, to get it to be a short, you have to have it in a certain aspect ratio. And so I don't know if it will capture everything we're doing.
Yeah, mate, I've never had a channel. I have no intention of having a channel. Would have no clue how to make a shot.
Yeah,
You want me to-
shorts have to be like in the, what is it,
Well, even
1920 by
even
1080,
just
which is
edit it
the
down to
small
a
form.
2-minute. Just edit it down to a 2-minute video or something like that.
Has to be 60 seconds or less.
Sorry. What I'm
Mhm.
saying, if you can't get it in the short format, just edit it down
Oh,
to
yeah.
a video, and then you can just post it. You know, transferring from BitGet processors and doing a swap from Ethereum and the processors. So,
Yeah.
I mean, if anyone's got any questions, by all means, reach out to me, and if I can, I'll try and help you, as
Mhm.
LSLAC did earlier in the week. I don't know everything. There's some stuff
Now
about
I'm a master at it.
Uniswap that I didn't know because it's obvious I don't use it very much, and I hadn't used it for a number of years, and they did have some updates and improvements that I wasn't aware of. Having said that, the way I used to do it is the way you can still do it, which is not having your money in their escrow account, so to speak, and just having it on my wallet and swapping straight from the wallet on their site here. But most important is to make sure you've got the correct address, not some bogus Uniswap account. I can't iterate that enough because that is super, super important.
Yes, sir.
And then obviously we trust Upland, so we're happy to connect our wallet to Upland. So that's about all in terms of transferring stuff in and out. Obviously out's the same, but the other way around. You don't need to have ETH in your wallet to transfer to your MetaMask, because apparently they will take that fee out of your account in Ethereum. But you will need ETH in your wallet if you're transferring it from MetaMask to BitGet or another exchange, or trying to do a swap on Uniswap. You'll say you will need some ETH there to do that transaction. I don't think there's anything else I can show or talk about in relation to that. Like I said, it's a pretty simple step.
Yeah.
I can understand it's being a bit daunting for people that have not used crypto before. But once you get your head around it, you'll find that it's quite simple. But it'll be one of those things, you'll do it once and then not do it for a year, and then you can't remember how to do it. And
Right. It's really not difficult. It's really pretty simple. It just takes a little bit of time. Like, okay, I got to go here, send to this address, make sure that one's already linked to your Upland, and then accept it.
Still not there yet, but anyway, it's neither here or there.
Yeah, it'll pop up. You'll get a little thing that says, "Hey, you got your Sparklet."
I'm not sure if there's anything else I wanted to share. I think there was. Anyway, so
is it?
Yeah, that's about it for the transfer. And like I said, if anyone's got any questions, reach out. I know there's people have been discussing on Discord, stuff like that. I'm not an expert, but if it's something fairly simple, straightforward, I can certainly help you through the steps. Hopefully I can put this video out and just make it nice and easy.
Right.
If someone on LSLAC's clan can edit it just right and split the two between Uniswap and BitGet, just have two separate little ones. Outside of that, so I think we can move on to something new. So, the next topic. So, speaking of Sparklet, how are you going with the Sparklet campaign we have going at the moment?
You mean as far as bridging it in?
No, the campaign. So the Twitter campaign.
Oh fuck, dude! I haven't even looked at it.
So I saw a lot of posts on Twitter. People excited they've gone from 240 points or something to, thousands of points.
You know what?
Multiple multipliers. I don't know. It's all above my head. Clearly, I've got a shit Twitter account because I went from like 200 points to like 600 points.
I was looking at mine and I don't know. Like, maybe I'm fucking something up, but like I got like 80 points maybe. What is it? What is the address?
I can bring mine up if you want, but
I'm just trying to find it so I'll find it in Upland. Yeah, go ahead and bring yours up. I'm gonna try to find mine real quick. I just gotta remember what the it's airdrop, Sparklet airdrop. Upland, I'll just search for Upland, Sparklet, airdrop.
All right, so this is mine. So I've as far as I'm aware, I've done everything I can. This one hasn't come through. Oh, this is a new one. Landmarks. This is a new Twitter that's only just come through sometime this afternoon. Landmarks map assets. Oh my, Sparklet utility token. Upland enables players to build create. So I guess we've got to like it, and we've got to repost it, and we've got to put a comment and make this one nice and simple because
I have a 1x multiplier apparently.
yeah, I think I'm about the same. This is where you, but if I understand this correctly, and I personally don't care enough because I don't have enough followers and all that sort of stuff, I'm not that stressed. But if I understand this correctly, you're best off, instead of just reposting, is to quote it. But quote it that's going to get the attention of other people. So we've seen Upland repost other people's quotes. So if you do enough, and that must help them boost up. But what you want is other players to see your post, like it, comment on it, stuff like that.
Right.
So that, I think, so obviously the more people you have following you and the more people you get then to like and comment and all that sort of stuff, I think that gets your multiplier up. I personally just haven't put enough effort into it. I've been busy with other stuff.
Yeah, me neither.
But I haven't really put a lot of thought into it. But if you put a little bit of effort into here with something engaging, I almost was going to stir the hornet's nest last week when one of the big get ones came through, and I was going to put something in there about Americans not being able to use it or something, just because I knew I'd get a lot of hate back from it. And it doesn't matter if it's hate or light or love, it's going to be engagement, and that might have sent the calculator up a little bit. But I was like, you know what, creating enough enemies as it is, I'll just leave that one alone.
Who have you created enemies with?
You know, I haven't pulled any punches in terms of what I think some people. There's a couple of content creators I've made comment on their page about certain things, and
really, tell me off the stream. I want to know.
It's nothing. It's nothing offensive. Like, I've no problem with anyone, anytime, ever, offering their thoughts, criticism, judgments, or anything along those lines, if it's constructive and I don't know what the right word I'm trying to say is, but constructive and useful or something. So my main point, especially over the last week, was, look, get that it sucks for you guys, but this is a massive news for Upland, and potentially could be huge for the future of Upland. So just put aside your own personal disappointment, which I can understand that you guys have, and just look at the bigger picture of what this can do for Upland. And ultimately, if Upland's booming, you're going to be booming down the track. Just not 100%. You're not going to get the benefits right now. And I think just that immediate gratification of some players just doesn't wash with them, and they just want that satisfaction now, not in 12 months or 18 months time. And I just pull your head out of the sand and look at the big picture, because this is massive and has the potential to catapult Upland way up the ranks. It's not going to happen overnight, but it has the potential. And just some players just don't seem to get that and just go, well, I can't do it, so it sucks, it's crap, we should be focusing on looking after the players that we have. And to an extent they're right, you should be, but the Big Get news is neither Upland's fault or Big Get's fault that you guys can't use it. And that's the bit that I think you guys are forgetting. You're going, well, Upland should look after us better, but it's not Upland's fault that you can't use Big Get.
No, it's the regulator's fault.
It's the government's fault.
You're at. Yeah.
It's your government, allowing your freedoms to not let you use and spend your money the way you wish to spend it, which is absolute bullshit. Absolutely agree 100% that that's bullshit, but
yeah.
So, hopefully that changes. I know it doesn't help for the current promotions, etc., and it absolutely sucks. Get that. I'd be pissed off too. But you got to step aside. I think KO nailed it perfectly on his stream when they were going over it. You could clearly see he was upset, but bigger picture, massive news and potential. Just said Upland to the moon.
If Upland is booming, then the little bit of sparkle that you would get in the campaign will be, a drop in a bucket compared to what we could earn potentially down the road.
But the problem there is we're looking at 12, 18 months down the track as opposed to this week in a competition that ends on the 5th of August or something like that. So
if
we just
you're
got to
instant gratification, then maybe you're in the wrong game.
Well, they can come. Like, obviously, we have prizes and awards and stuff like that. It's just, I don't know if it's the first time, but it seems to me like it might be the first time that. Yeah, but this might be the first time that you guys have been excluded from something.
And that's okay. That's okay.
That's exactly right. It's okay. Life goes on. We, nothing's finished. It's not the end of the world type thing. I get that it sucks, but I'm like I keep saying, I'm excluded from going to G Week just because it's feasibly unreasonable for me to get there. And the same on the same token that
massive Sparklet bag, and when
and sell some of that.
August 26th, when the prices skyrocket, you'll cash out probably half that you were given for free, and then you'll be able to fucking fly your way over to Las Vegas.
Half of my 400 Sparklet. I got 400 Sparklet for free. You're saying half of that. Other players are getting 60,000. I got 400.
Oh, I know. Ben got 60,000 fucking Sparklet.
Oh, he's not the only one. There's stacks of players were posting on Twitter how much they got. Stacks and stacks and stacks. Look, I still think it's a 4x. Other players are arguing saying it's more than that. I think
Ben said he put in he bought 10.
He reckoned he bought 10, maybe 15. 15 is a 4x. So,
right.
And I think a lot of players are just because they've bought a bit here and a bit there, and I think they've just underestimated over a long period of time exactly how much they've bought, thinking they must have bought about 10 when the reality is he must have bought 15, and therefore he's got a 4x on what he's bought or thereabouts, and he's ended up with 60,000. That's my best guess of Ben, and I think a lot of other players are the same. I would find it really hard to believe that Upland would have a different multiplier for different players.
I agree.
Everyone's paid the same price. I don't think it mattered if you bought it in day one or 2 years in. I don't see why they'd have a different multiplier for different players. I can tell you, like I said earlier, 100% guarantee that I bought 0.1. I've only ever bought Sparklet once. It was the first bit of Sparklet I bought, 0.1. I ended up with 0.4 in return, or 400 Sparklet. So I cannot be any more confident, confirmed. Like, I can't be any more blunt about it than that. Right. And I think we'll find that that's pretty much the same for everybody. I don't see why Upland would change that ratio for anyone. Having said that, if you bought 10, 15, 20 Spark, you're seeing the result. Everyone's, you got your point, you got your 20 that you initially bought plus another 4 times on top of that. Like, why would you be upset? Well, I'll go into more why you should be upset by that on Thursday night, but
okay.
That's
anyway. I think that. I mean, I have to wait till the next day because I'll
be asleep.
I'll wake up in time, but yeah, I look forward to hearing that.
So,
yeah, I haven't done shit on this. I'm at 140 points, 1x multiplier. I keep forgetting about it. I've been busy with all that shit, so I haven't done much with it.
Well, look, obviously this whole campaign's about trying to attract new players, stuff like that. So that's the whole reason behind it. So get on there, do your bit, hopefully get new players. The new season starts, a couple of days for us.
Yeah.
So no doubt there's going to be a challenge to recruit or have someone use your code as one of the challenges, which will be part of the airdrop. So you're going to want to try and get that. I've been trying to rack my brain about how I'll do that when I have 0 reach for 0 people. I have no channel. Yeah, I sort of can share on yours or Ben's or something like that. But I know Ben's not too stressed about it, but he might be, given that you get extra Sparklet if you increase your multiplier. So the more challenges you do, the higher the multiplier is. So the season challenge, if I understand this correctly, the season challenges are going to be much the same. Exactly what the challenges are, we don't know until they come out.
Right.
But the whole process is going to be much the same, and you'll do the challenges to get your multiplier. So you need to do, I think, minimum of 5 to get your 14 point, whatever it is, 7 or whatever. But in addition to that, with the Sparklet drop that they're going to do, the higher you get up there, and it goes all the way up to 15. So like you can do 13, you get more if you do 14, and if you do 14, you get more if you do 15. It's not like there's a gap between doing 10 and doing 15. Like each single challenge, increases you. So whether you only get to 14 out of 15, it's still worth getting to 14 out of 15. The 15th one, I think most people have trouble with is, assuming they're not going to just sign up their own dummy account, which anyway, and put
You
$5.
never know.
Look, I'm not going to, just purely out of just my own karma, I guess. I don't know. I'd rather just miss out on that last jump.
Right.
The multiplier.
Well, maybe because you have some sort of moral compass. I don't know.
Yeah. Look, it probably doesn't help that you're always appearing on a stream, stuff like that, so people can look at your account. If you end up with one, you've only got one person there that's, you know, use your code, and you go look at that person instead of put $5 in and never play it again. Pretty effing obvious. I mean, it could happen. Someone checks it out and goes, nah, it's not for me, but...
I have a friend who signed up under me, but he hasn't put any money in. He hasn't done anything. He's been waiting to have a conversation with me about it. He downloaded it, put in my referral code, but until he like puts money in, like there's nothing that really happens. And so
might even be worth you sending him the $5 to put it in. I don't know.
I know. I was thinking about that the other day. I told him the other day, I was like, hey, I've been off for the last couple of days. Let's get together and let's have a beer and talk about it. And he's like, oh, I can't, but we're gonna do it next week for sure. So
you're gonna have 6 weeks to get on top of it, I would think.
Yeah, so I'm gonna sell them pretty hard. So
you're gonna have a bunch of challenges. I mean, I guess a smaller account like yours are gonna struggle a little bit with trying to get all the builds done in time. Obviously, the Spark exchanges out there. The people have got a crap load of Spark, so if you need to pay for Spark,
if we got this guy that just keeps throwing Spark at me left and right, I might have no problem at all.
Well, your build's going to be done. I mean, it's still like 2 weeks away, so you're going to be in the season. So that's one of your, assuming you need like 3, that's one of your 3 done. But for any player out there, look, Sparklet's never going to be cheaper than Durant than it is right now. It's not going to get off $4 or 4 UpX, sorry, a Sparklet at the moment. To build a townhouse or a small townhouse or a micro house in the season isn't a big deal. So there's really no excuse for not getting any of those sort of builds done. But I can understand people with a little bit less Sparklet will find that a little bit more challenging. But this season of all seasons, this is the one where you want to try and take over as many as possible, if not all of them.
100%. Yeah, I'm gonna be plugging pretty hard at it just to see. The last season, I don't even know. I know I got 14.7 because I checked like the day before it ended. But I had like
7 or 8,
3 of them done.
Yeah. Look,
and I wasn't even paying any attention.
I haven't even looked at them for the last 2 seasons. I think the very first season, because they didn't have that referral one in there, I looked at it all and went, it's all very achievable, and I achieved most of them without trying, and I just kept an eye on. I had to do some racing, which I don't really normally do, to tick over one of those, but it's not that hard. After that, the last 2 seasons, I haven't even looked at it because I know I'm going to tick over 5 without trying, and that's all you need to do to 14. And I was never going to get to all 15 because I know I'm not going to get the referral. There's been some harder ones, such as like getting 3 exclusive collections or something like that. Not impossible, but obviously a little bit harder to get done, especially with a smaller account. But again, we'll have to wait and see what the next season challenges are. I haven't.
We'll get you a referral.
I haven't filled any of my international Nomad ones, just on the off chance that turns out to be a collection for the next season, to just complete 3 collections or something like that, which you probably do with Paris. Well, you probably do that comfortably with Paris release anyway, but
yeah.
So I mean, they're only blue collections, so then the bottom line anyway. So if that's true and it's just any collections, you'll comfortably do it. So it's not a big deal. To be honest, it's 2,000 properties in my collection. I just couldn't be trying to figure it out with no search function, and it's like just.
So I just bought the optimizer. So today I spent some time because I've had a little bit of time on my hands the last couple of days. I decided, you know what, fuck it. I want to optimize my collections. I went and bought 1, 2, 3, 4, like 8 properties today. And then I just wanted to, flip some stuff to see if I could get some money for Paris. But I bought the subscription for UPX Land. And actually, it has already paid off because I got it because I wanted the optimizer. But when I was looking at the properties that I have that are not optimized, they're not in the optimized collection, that was something that I couldn't see before. And I'd always have to guess, like, what properties am I not using that are disposable at this point? And it just lists them all out for me. So I was able to look at them. I'm like, okay, I don't want to get rid of any of my Detroit properties. I don't want to get rid of any of my Granada Hills properties. And so it just gave me a list of, here's all my Granada Hills properties, here's all my Detroit properties I don't want to lose. And then everything else in between there, I'm like, oh, these are all disposable that I'm not using in a collection. And so I listed all of them.
As I said to you
So
previously,
fucking easy.
and you've pretty much hit it on the nail on the head. In my opinion, it's just my opinion, everyone plays the game differently. But I've said before, in my opinion, there's 3 reasons to own a property. One being it's part of a collection. So you were talking about your collections. 2, it's part of a treasure map, which I'm assuming is basically your Detroit properties.
Yep.
And 3 is a node, which is obviously your Granada Hill properties.
Right.
So, and you might have multiple nodes. So, and the nodes are the one that's going to screw your account in terms of your net worth over your mint net worth, stuff like that. Which, so when you look at that, like Ben obviously sees straight away when he does his interviews, stuff like that. When your net worth is way above your mint net worth, it means you've been pretty heavily involved. Usually, it means you're pretty heavily involved in node property or node developments and stuff like that. So your big node managers usually are like that because they'll go around and buy crap loads of properties on the secondary market, but because you're paying above mint price, it throws out that. Where I've avoided nodes mostly, not entirely, but mostly because I've been more about trying to get that mint. Now, not so much the mint net worth up, but the yield. From day one, my focus has always been on yield, trying to maximize yield for it. And I think it's done me well. Considering for the net worth on my account to the yield I get, I'm batting above average. I'm doing quite well in that sense, I believe. So it's paid off. It's taken 2.5 years, but I'll get to $1 million UPX a month yield well before I get to 100 to chief executive, which seems to be the sort of, at least in my perception when I first started watching, was chief executives get $1 million a month. That's the way I saw it. And I'm looking at it now going, well, no, chief executive. So Ben's a bit of a different example because he has been well above the chief executive, like 160 odd million or something like that I saw at one point, but he's dropped back down with all the sales he's done with Chicago on that. But he's earning 200 or 2 million a month on about 100,000 UPX net worth. And that's achievable. You don't need to go well above that chief executive level to get that 2 million, because the way I'm tracking, I'm going to hit that 2 million long before I get the chief executive level.
Right.
So if you focus right and buy the right properties, put them in the right collections, you can. But I'm just, in terms of the blue collections, I'm just like, I really couldn't be staffed sorting through 2,000 properties to find the one I want to put in. I used to, and I still got this.
It was such a pain in my ass today. I only have like 220 properties. I mean, without a search function, I'm just like scrolling through. I'm like, all right. No. Oh,
and then you miss it. You got to load the bottom. You got to start again.
Right.
Or still,
it's so fucking annoying.
Worse still, you think the property you're looking for is not in a collection, but it turns out it's in a different collection that you forgot all about. Again, because you've got all these international ones and all these weird collections now. And because it's in a different collection, it won't even show up on that list. So you just don't know that it's there. So to not have a search function, which when you do a property swap, I don't know if you've done that recently, you can search your own property now. So you click on someone else's property, offer them a swap, select a property, and you can type in the address of yours. That's a relatively new development in the last few months or so.
Right.
That in itself, I used to, with my treasure hunting around Queens, I'd want to swap all the time, but I just couldn't be bothered trying to find the one I need. Like in between search and stuff like that, I just could not be bothered to try and find the one I wanted to. And I was convinced that Upland wouldn't put the search in there because they didn't want us to swap, because they don't get a fee from a swap. If you're just doing, you and I just swap a property, that's it. There's no transaction fee, which I think there should be.
Right.
But there isn't. Why isn't there a transaction fee? There is for everything else.
I don't know. Yeah.
So yeah. Maybe they should average out the two. If you're doing just a plain swap, maybe they should average out the two mint prices and charge 5% of that. from the person who's initiating the swap or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Put it into the pool.
What do you mean not a bad idea? Every uplaner is going to go, why? Why would you want to pay money now when we get it for free? And like, that's a terrible idea. I'm volunteering a tax for the community? I don't think so.
Hey, well, you got to pay taxes.
I don't want Upland to go broke, though. That's the problem. Upland needs to keep coming in. So
they just use that. They use that money. They put it back in the pool, and it goes back to the players.
Yeah, it comes back out.
I mean, you lose it in the short term, you gain it in the long term.
100%.
So I always view my investments long term. I'm not ever a short term thinker. I could never be one of those people that like are just flipping assets like on the stock market or in the crypto market, you know, like day traders. I could never do that. My brain just does not work that way. I'm thinking long term. I'm thinking 5, I'm thinking 10 years down the road. Where do I want my numbers to be? That's what I'm thinking about. I'm not thinking about tomorrow, like, oh, like it went up. And of course, I'm not dealing with massive numbers either. So I have to think long term if I want to see any kind of like real progress.
And sadly, or not sadly, that's the mindset you need to have with this game. The good thing about it is we can play it in the meantime. So we can buy our Sparklet at the moment, be disappointed that it's 3 cents, 4 cents, whatever, you know, it is what it is. But guess what? I mean, if Upland was selling it at that price in the store a few months back, would you have bought it?
Yeah.
Of course you would have. Everybody would have.
Yeah.
Now you can go buy it for 4 cents. What's people whinging about?
I don't know.
Only when you want to sell it, and if you're selling it, well, shit happens. Like, I'm sorry, I don't feel sorry for you if you're selling a Sparklet. Like, why would I care that you want to leave the game? And you know, that's your choice. Like, my personal belief is this will be worth way more in the future.
Mm-hmm.
But it's crypto. It's now a crypto coin. Whether you like it or not, it's a crypto coin, and you're now at the mercy of the crypto markets. Which means if you're not familiar with the crypto markets, go get yourself familiar with the markets if you care about Sparklet and understand how the crypto markets work.
Keep playing fucking Upland and have a good time.
And forget about it. Just take advantage that you can now buy it for a lot less than what it was. Now,
yeah,
the build. I mean, and I'd also argue build while you can, because that's going to change, and we don't know how that's going to change. Like, are they going to change it from that moment onwards with every build, including current builds, or are they going to change it from any new build that you set up to from that point onwards? So in other words, if you did have a bit of Spark and you set up, say, 10 different builds at once, maybe you get those set at because that contract or that you're initiating when you first set up a build has got the set amount of hours already in there.
Right. That'd be pretty shitty if they just changed it mid-build.
Well, I was thinking about it, and I honestly have no clue which way they'll go. I would like to think that they wouldn't piss players off by changing it mid-build, but we don't know for sure. So if they say they times it by 4, how much Sparklet it takes to build something now, and you're halfway through a build, I'm assuming that remaining half will be times by 4, which sort of makes it put you back before the starting post, so to speak. But part of me is hoping that they just go, right, from this point onwards, any new build's going to have the new calculation for it. Any current build, finish off, and they are as they are. So I'm looking at it going, worst case scenario, they're going to make everything way more, so it is what it is. Best case scenario, you get plan B, which is from this point onwards. So I want to build a whole bunch of factories and showrooms. Maybe I want to start them now, knowing full well they're not going to be built for 200, 300 days because I don't have the Spark to fill them all at the moment.
Right.
Maybe I'm going to save myself a lot of Spark hours in the future.
And if not, then you're in the same boat you would have been if you started them later.
Exactly right. So it's just a matter of whether, in fact, I can even show, and I haven't finished doing it because I haven't figured out where I want all my showrooms and stuff like that to be built, but I set up a few the other day. Obviously, I'm helping you with one. I need to do the share again, don't I?
I need to get me a showroom in Los Angeles, in Granada Hills, of all the places.
All right, let's get away from that again. All right, so I've got 2 builds I've got going where I've maxed out at the moment. One being yours and one being one of mine. And
thank you, by the way. I didn't even know you were doing that. I looked one day, tried to add some more Sparklet, and it wouldn't let me because you had maxed me out.
There we go.
So thank you
There's
very
my-
much. You
There's
sweet
my new
little man.
sparklet. So we've got all about that, but there's my 120 and 690
Oh, yeah.
or what, plus the 40 already had sitting there. So that's finally come through. So that can go on your video, I guess, if you edit. So that's, and I'm going to add to this list as it is. So I've got a few collection properties in Washington that I've been trying to build, and I was starting to build, but then my racetrack came up for building, so I went, oh, everything's on hold to the racetrack, which is now
I'm gonna be
complete.
so pissed if your racetrack comes out before mine. I'll be
My
so
money's
fucking
on-
pissed.
My money is on all three get approved on the same day.
I keep emailing fucking support.
I haven't
and
yet, but
They
I was
finally got back to me like, "Oh, we'll look into it," and I was hoping maybe that they would just,
like, look,
hit the
I'll
button
admit
and
they're
say go. But
pretty good. When I applied for my racetrack, they said, look, you can't have the name you got. It's too long or some rubbish. I can't remember what. So just rename it. Just reply to this email. No dramas. Did that. This was before G Week. G Week happened like a week or two later. Nothing. A couple of weeks after G Week, nothing. I'm like, I'll give them time with G Week. Obviously, pretty busy with all the stuff that's going on. Got to about a month after G Week, and I'm like, still nothing. All right, support. What the hell's going on here? Like, here's like, and they're like, yeah, it's ready to go. Like, I've got a reply like a day later, go, yep, it's all good, ready to go. You can go build it. I'm like, oh, okay. Went over there, and sure enough, it was an option. It's the only option I had on that property, as you would know. I didn't know how it works. So I haven't done one before, and yeah, obviously I got the spark.
what'd you name your track?
I really can't remember. I'll tell you off air. I think I do remember. I'll just tell you off air when we get there. And we'll plug it when it gets going anyway. But
Absolutely. And we're gonna race on it.
I'll tell you off air what it is and why I named it what I did. Anyway, so as I was trying to say, so I've got all these buildings that, and I've started doing all these showrooms. So I'm like, well, just worst case scenario, in case they do decide, from this point forward, we're going to make it 4 times as much spark to build it. If I can lock in the current price of spark, if it works that way, happy days. So I'm probably going to end up with another 4 or 5 showrooms sitting down here, knowing full well that it's going to be a long time before I build them. I mean, I have got more spark coming in I bought some on BitGet, which I'll bring across at the end of the staking period, and before the BitGet tournament, or what you call it, the prize thingy is drawn. So that'll help. It's not quite double what I've got, but it's a fair chunk more. Maybe we get.
When did they say they're gonna do?
So, but you can say all of these are all minimum. Oh, that's not minimum, but close to minimum stakes. And then I've got one that I'm building in full for myself that's maxed out, and then I've got your factory that's maxed out, and all the rest are minimum. And that's just the dregs left over. So whenever I do, actually I should do that now.
Did they see when they're gonna do the drop for like earned sparklet?
No, I've got no idea. And to be honest, I'm not holding my breath on that either.
Yeah, I'm just curious because I know I'll get something, but it's gonna be very little. But I'll happily take whatever I can get. Unlike you, I'll notice when I get some sparklet.
Oh, back to front.
What are you doing?
6, 7, 9. Oh, just for the new system, you can't just. You got to type in the number, but I couldn't be bothered trying to add 5,000 and whatever it was with 890 or something. So
because they moved.
So you put a figure in that's above it, and it tells you exactly what you can put in, but then you got to remember that figure and type it in, and because someone stakes, that's a long story. But I've got a 0.13 somehow, which just confused me, and my brain's like, that's too much.
I don't know how the hell you did that.
No, it's to do with I've actually one of my factories. I actually pay even though I've got a lot of spark. I've got people building this one for me, but I'm obviously paying for it. It's not like they're. But someone on here has done every now and again I come and check this. So there's this guy here's done 121.8. I don't know how we got the 0.87. So 121 sparklet, not spark. So 0.121 sparklet.
Oh yeah, there's the 1.3. That's where the 1.3 comes from.
So that's where the 1.3 comes. So every now and again, I come and check here, and if some people have withdrawn the little amount, I just top it up to get back to maximum. Like I'm trying to get this factory built. So because I'm doing obviously a lot of structural ornaments in Blender, so I want this to be a structural ornament factory. So I can't put this down as a application address until it's finished, built, and approved to be a factory. So I'm trying to get it done so I can do that.
Right.
So I figured I've got a lot going on at the minute, so I'll just, this cost me almost 100,000, which is pretty cheap, really. When you think it's a large factory, it's not the super large one, but it's a large one. I put one sparkler on it straight away, and it cost me less than 100,000 to get built. So pretty bloody good time to be renting sparklet out.
I would say so.
Not so renting it out, sorry, like renting it in. And I can't see it now with all this extra sparklet being dropped off. Although Apex Land's been down for a few days, so hopefully they get that. Not Apex Land, we call it UPX Exchange. It's been down for a few days, so hopefully they get back up soon, because that obviously doesn't help. But the sparklet price isn't getting off $44.5 or whatever it is anytime soon.
Right.
So that's my theory on sparklet at the moment. Whether I'm right or not, we'll find out, I guess, in time. Again, I don't really care if I'm wrong. It's just I had the thought that this might happen, so maybe if it does, here's a way to take advantage of it. Set all these bills up now, and I lock them in at the cheaper price. We don't know if that's going to happen next week, next month, or next year, but it's going to happen. My guess, you're saying 26. My guess is when all the sparklet drops are finished. So when the market's finished being flooded, that's when they're going to recalculate it all. And
that's why I said August 26th, because the latest date that I saw in all their announcements was August 19th, and then a week after that is the 26th.
All right. So when's the next season finish? So it starts in a couple of days. What date does it finish?
September.
Yeah, because that's halfway through the next season, isn't it?
Late September.
I thought the drops went longer than that. I thought it was more like 3 months, but
6 weeks.
Okay, so maybe you're right. But at any rate, we'll find out.
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
I will tell you one thing though. So as you know, and a lot of players out there know, that I've been a full-time treasure hunter for basically 2.5 years.
Minus the last 3 weeks.
3-4 weeks, yeah. And it was always my intention for the last 3 or 4 weeks at the end of the month. I gave myself a month to learn Blender, and sort of then once I get my head around it, start sort of cementing my skills, so to speak, so I don't lose it, which I think is going all right.
I would say so.
It was always my intention to get back to like basically full-time treasure hunting. And so what I mean by full-time is basically doing between 80 and 100 searches a day, which takes a few hours. It's not simple. It sucks ever since they nerfed or got rid of browser hunting. But I forgot to tell you my theory on that too. But with all these airdrops and all the sparklet changes and all that, I've been thinking over the last couple of weeks. I'm not saying there isn't value anymore in treasure hunting, but I think the value of treasure hunting has been significantly devalued.
Yeah, it's been neutered.
When you think about everybody that had Spark has just basically 4x their amount. So I don't know what's happening with people that own the Spark like me. I'm willing to bet that it's not anything like the 4x, and I'm going to have a huge bitch about that. And this time it is going to be about me and people like me, rather than a global point of view. The people that pay money, I'll come back to that in a second. Anyway, so I'm looking at the whole bigger picture and going, okay, so the total supply of Spark across the board has probably somewhat 4x or more in the space of a very short space of time.
Right.
Which means that every little bit of Spark you now get from a treasure hunting is 25% worth 25% of what it was worth, so to speak, before. I know there's a dollar value, and we can add that dollar value quite easily to it and go, well, current price is 4 cents. If you're getting 10, you're getting 40 cents worth of Spark. That's not the point. I'm talking about forget about the price of the coin, whether it's worth 4 cents or $400. I don't care about that. I'm talking about the amount of Spark that you can earn in a year treasure hunting, as opposed to how much Spark you already have out there. Now, for a new player, you might still want to do that just to acquire some, but in terms of someone like myself who's already toiled away to get 60 Spark, to continue treasure hunting just doesn't make sense. The time and that's required invested, it just doesn't make sense to continue doing it, considering how little you're getting in terms of the whole pool. I know I'm not explaining this very right. It just doesn't make sense to me anyway anymore to do full-time treasure hunting. I'll still do a little bit here and there.
No, I think I completely get what you're saying, because what you were doing before, you were operating under the assumption that a Spark was $460, and now we're looking at
No, not necessarily. I always knew Spark was never worth $460. I've argued this on Ben's channel.
Maybe so, but whatever the number was, the value has significantly decreased.
Right. You put it from this point. This is what I'm trying to get to. Is I don't know what the exact numbers are. You'd probably go and do some sort of math and figure it out. But
okay.
I was ranked somewhere near the 20th, like 21, 22, something like that, in terms of Sparklet. The number one player, so forget about Abdullah and all the other entities that are in the game that had Sparklet, like the Upland Bureau, stuff like that. The number one player that had Sparklet was Expedia, who had about 130, 133. Treasure Hunter from way back, been treasure hunting forever, and had 130. Obviously, I was never going to catch him, but that was like the benchmark to me. There's a bunch of other treasure hunters between him and myself. But if you just take those players out, I was probably in the top 15, maybe even getting close to the top 10. But if you add those Sparks up, say of the top 50 players, my percentage of that pool was pretty decent. Like, you know, whether it be 5%, 4%, whatever, like of those players, like I said, forget about Abdullah and those other entities.
Right.
Just the players, that, especially the treasure hunters, but just even the people that had bought it as well. But I had a reasonable percentage of that pool. That pool is now, my percentage without me doing a single thing has gone, let's say if it was 5%, it's now more like 1% with me doing nothing. So for me to continue doing what I'm doing, instead of earning that 5% of the pool, so to speak, I'm only going to be earning 1% of the pool going forward. But what Upland have done is effectively made every little bit of Spark worth a quarter of what it was worth by giving everybody 4 times what they already had. But the amount you find, it hasn't changed. So in other words, it's worth a quarter of what it was worth.
Unless maybe it does change.
It hasn't yet. I can't see it. I can't see them putting a Sparklet chest from 20 to 80 or something like that, or 100.
Yeah.
And I probably prefer if they didn't, but just my point of view, I'm looking ahead, and I hope that treasure hunting isn't dead, because I honestly believe it's the backbone of the game. But me as a treasure hunter, and I'd be interested to see what other people think about, especially the people that dedicated the time. Like I said, I'll still do some casual treasure hunting. If I'm sitting there watching telly or something, I may as well do a few searches. But I certainly won't be trying to maximize my sends and trying to do 80 or 100 a day anymore, because I just don't see the value in it. I believe the developments over the last couple of weeks have just...
Well, that was ultimately what I was going to get to. It significantly devalued treasure hunting. Like, it's not necessarily a bad proposition. You're getting something essentially for free. But is the value?
It's almost
the time that you're spending doing it. It's not the same that it was
up until. All right, and think of it from this point of view. Let's say, even like we just saw people get dropped. I think 4x what they bought, but. So let's assume that's correct. And let's just say the people that get dropped what they earn. So earning being your logins for each week, your prizes and competitions that you won and you get a little bit of Spark for, or your treasure hunting. Let's assume that all that earning is what we're going to get dropped next. Let's assume, and I think worst case scenario, we get 1x. So we get whatever we earn, we get that again. So we double what we've got. That effectively means that treasure hunting from this point forward is now half as valuable as treasure hunting was from that point backwards, if that makes sense, because every chest that I did find in the past effectively is about to get doubled. Every chest going forward is not going to get doubled, so therefore I'm getting half as much, and that's assuming that my West, which is what I'm going to guess, is we're going to get 1x what we've earned, which I think is absolutely atrocious if that's what happens, given that everybody else got 4x. And this is my argument as to why, and I might be shooting off my gun a little bit early here because we don't know. I'm only just speculating.
Because we haven't
I'm way off the mark.
Second drop yet.
They may surprise us. Like, I wasn't expecting the purchase bonus to be anywhere near as big as it was. I nearly fell over, and I was a little bit disheartened. Not because I know full well that they've separated the two different types of acquiring Spark, and for some reason, a lot of people believe buying Spark is more valuable than earning Spark. I strongly disagree with that, and this is
No,
my reason.
I disagree with that as well.
Many players don't. They think that getting Spark for free shouldn't be worth anywhere near as much as buying Spark.
But
And I fear that
other grinded out and treasure hunted and whatever else they had to do to get that Spark. That's people that are engaging in the game. Those are your true real players. Not to say that other people that are buying Spark aren't true players, but the people that are grinding it out, those are the people that are the backbone of your service, and those are the people I feel like need to be rewarded the most.
This is the point I was trying to get to. So you might have, and I'm not going to name any names, or anything like that, but you're going to have players that might log into the game every day, and they might just do a couple of things, or move some map assets around, stuff like that. But they're not effectively. I mean, and they'll buy and sell properties here and there with city releases, all that sort of stuff. But what are they contributing to the game on a daily basis? Yeah, they can go in and buy a Spark, cost them $400, so they log in, buy the Spark, stake it on the property, and disappear for a few days and let the property build. Or you get a player like myself who will go and spend the same money, but instead of buying Spark, will buy the properties, then treasure hunt by sending to the properties, continue buying more properties to increase. And you saw what I did with Queens, and I started with, I think when I first started treasure hunting, I had about 40 or 50 properties. When I left Queens, I had 1,900 properties. So I just kept buying and buying and buying while I was treasure hunting. Now I'm doing the same in Washington.
Which arguably is the core of the game.
It's the core of the game. And if you want to argue, well, no, that's bullshit. I mean, you can look at my stats. Anyone can go look at anyone's stats on Apex Land and see how much I've spent in send fees. Now, I'm by no means, because I've only been playing for 2.5 years, I'm nowhere near as high as some other players, but there's still 1.5 million Apex or something like that sent out in send fees to other players. Compare that to a non-treasure hunter and see how much they've sent out in send fees. And if you think that's not important, well, look at what happened to London and Tokyo when treasure hunting was nerfed in those two cities. Not only did the properties prices plummet, but so did people's income plummet. So I would argue exactly what you're saying is that people that spend their time treasure hunting, and let's face it, it's an old adage, time is money.
Right.
Like, I mean, it'll be much easier for me to go and work a shift and then buy one Spark than spend, a week and a half to earn one Spark. Like, I could earn the money at work in one shift to buy a Spark, or less than a shift. So the easy way is just to go, earn the money, buy the Spark, and not play the game. Or I can toil away at the game, improve my property portfolio, and earn the Spark the hard way. So I chose that path, and I think to this point it was worth it. But now I'm thinking I don't think it is moving forward. Looking at it going forward, I think I can see myself maybe aiming for like the 30 a day, which is about an hour and a bit of treasure hunting. But that's only if I could be bothered. I don't feel like I used to feel anxious almost if I didn't get my searching done in a day. I was like, I'm running out of time. I had to work or whatever, and I couldn't get stuff done. Because my commitment to myself was I bought these properties with the view of treasure hunting. So if I'm not treasure hunting, well, then I've kind of wasted my time and effort. So now that...
Well, I mean, that's one way to look at it, or you look at it like this is an investment. You've invested your time, you've invested your money, you've invested
but that's what
these properties. And if now that you've established yourself and maybe they've devalued, but we don't know because we don't know what that second drop looks like. We don't know if they're going to restructure what treasure the Spark chest look like. We don't know any of that stuff yet, but we can speculate.
I think there's going to be a huge divide in the community between treasure hunters and non-treasure hunters. So, and I think the vast majority of non-treasure hunters that own Spark have bought it and think that their Spark is more valuable than the treasure hunter Spark who got it for free in their view, which I think is bullshit, but that's the way they see it. Not everyone, but I certainly have had people, including content creators, look at treasure hunters from that point of view. And I think either way, if the earned Spark drop ends up being roughly the same as the they're going to blow up. If it's going to end up being less than what the treasure hunters are going to blow up. And I don't think there's a happy medium in the middle, because either way you go, one side of the community, and I wonder why, if this is why we haven't seen it yet, because Upland have already identified this, how there's going to be a blow up in the community one way or the other, whichever way they go.
What if they draw it right down the middle and they do 4x for treasure hunters too? How do you feel about that?
People, well, then to me that's at least valuing it the same, and to me that's okay. Well, that's a fair way of doing it. I wouldn't be upset with that from my own personal point of view, because then I end up with obviously 4 times 60 and roughly, and I'd be happy with that obviously. In terms of Upland,
you'd probably be over the moon with that. That won't be change your whole position right now.
It won't be a good thing for Upland. Again, we'll talk about that more on Thursday night, but I think Upland's already gone down that road with what they've already dropped, and I think going backwards is not going to happen. I think they've already started on that path, which is irreversible. They've already dropped 4x to all these purchase players. In my head, I cannot think of a solution or a scenario of a drop that both sides of the community, if you want to put that divide between treasure hunters and non-treasure hunters, are going to be happy with.
I mean, if you just do the same shit, if you do 4x for treasure, I mean, it's going to be hard.
People that have purchased it are going to blow up going, my Spark is more valuable. They already say that as it is.
Yeah, but you can't believe everything you think. You know what I mean?
I think they're wrong. We've discussed it, and I think they're wrong. And I think I'm with you. I'm not suggesting that EarnSpark is more valuable, but I believe it is, because I've had to work a hell of a lot harder to get it. Yeah. Plus, I've contributed to the game in doing so. But there's people out there going, oh, but you've got 60 Spark and you only ever bought 0.1 of it, so you've got it all for free. And I've had to fork out, 10 grand to get my Spark. And I'm like, yeah, but how many hours did you put into the game to get your 10, however many Spark you got? How much have you played the game in relation to how much I played the game?
It's probably uncomparable.
100%. Like my missus, because I was talking to her about the other day, and I'm saying, look, I'm thinking I'm going to stop doing this as a full-time type thing, and from now on, like, you can see the sigh of relief on her face. It's like, thanks, because she's been so supportive, but in the background, she's like, I wish you'd freaking stop this searching already. So
you really use your time, if you know what I mean.
Well,
and then, hold on, I got 3 more chests to get, and then we can get back to business. Just hold on.
Yeah, pretty much. I'll be like, I've only got 3 more sends to use up or something like that. Yeah, it was like that for a while.
She's like, really it's over now. Like
it's not totally over. Like I said, I'll still do some, but it just
I just feel like the moment was over. If you were gonna.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
So. I wonder if that's why we still haven't seen the second round of drops for the EarnSpark. I mean, everyone's going to have some EarnSpark, because everyone's been logging on every single day for the last 2.5 years. So they're going to get something. Yeah, Angry. I think 1 is a given. I think if it turned out to be less than 1, I'd almost want to quit Upland there and then.
That'd be a slap in the face.
I would be so furious that it would be 1. I would still think was an insult. 2, I'd probably just take it, shut the fuck up, and move on. Even though I still feel cheated. But the thing is, we're just speculating. Like, I may as well just roll a dice and see what the number comes up, and that's what we're going to end up with. Like, it's seriously, I don't know we can never understand what Upland think, because whatever we do think Upland think, we end up being wrong. Bottom line is, every single player in the game has EarnSpark. Now, the daily login bonus, we're all probably going to have about the same, assuming that everyone's logged in consistently every day. I don't think I've missed a day since it started. Assuming that everyone's logged in, there's not going to be much difference there. So I think over the course of the period of time, over like 2 years, 2.5 years, however long it's been going, we have all probably acquired the same, which would probably be about a Spark, maybe Spark and a half for every single player. So every single player is going to get EarnSpark drop, unlike the purchase Spark where you receive nothing. I received almost nothing, you received nothing. But obviously, you know, one to 1.5 spark for everyone else, to opposed to 60 spark for myself. If it turned out to be 4x, I could see them just absolutely losing their shit. But then if it's the other way around and we get a 1x, then I'm probably going to lose my shit. But what's the correct answer? What's the happy answer? I have no clue.
4x.
I've been trying to work this out. I've been trying to work, but what answer will make both sides of the community not resent the other side?
It's going to be hard to dispute if you split it down the middle and you say, look, you get 4x for purchasing. That's equally as important, which I would disagree with. But
so why didn't they do it all at
finding
once?
out an earning spark.
Then why didn't they just drop it all at once then? If you're saying it's the same.
No, I don't know.
They should just go on snapshot this date. This is what everyone's got. Give them 4x that. Move on.
Because maybe they want to differentiate the two.
What? You're saying it should be the same. So effectively, you're saying at this point from that date, we're giving everyone the same amount, but at 2 different times. Well, that's the hard way of doing it, isn't it?
Yeah. No, they don't do anything the easy way.
No. I can't remember the exact language, but there was definitely some sort of language that suggested that this earned spark was going to be lower than the paid spark. I mean, if I'm wrong, someone angry if you're aware of what that
I don't remember the language that they used for that.
What the announcement was. I can't remember where it was. I try and remember as much as I can, but sometimes it all becomes a blur. Especially this month with me learning Blender. I've actually paid less attention to everything.
All the fucking things that they launch, that they release, that they fucking talk about, that we get announced.
And I probably spent less.
Everything. I was like, oh, my head's gonna blow up.
And this month is probably the month I've spent the less time on Upland that I've ever spent in the last 2.5 years.
But at the same time, the things that you are doing
is still for Upland.
Are Upland adjacent and are going to be incredible.
Well, we'll see if it ever gets.
Shit, don't.
Well, so far I've had 4 rejections and nothing approved. But those rejections were for
what did you get rejected?
Stuff that had certain names in it.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so there's 2 different things entirely separate from each other, but there was stuff that has certain names in it, and those names just must be flagged as soon as if they come up in the description or something. They must just red flag it, and they were like instantly, like the next day I woke up I'd submit it, go to bed, get up in the morning, and they were rejected, saying that you can't have that name, so to speak.
Yeah.
So then I had to rethink, and one of them was the whole build was centralized around that thing, and I had to think of how to.
Did you end up resubmitting with the changed name?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you use?
I know
it's very cryptic. Did you use the insignia or logo?
I have my own logo now. You saw that on the top of the.
No, not that one. The one that was shared that you were frustrated about.
You're gonna have to ask me off there.
Yeah,
and okay. I'll share all this with people if and when it ever gets approved. But what we're talking about, but
it'll get approved eventually, and it'll come to light, and everybody will know because it's going to be fucking badass.
Maybe.
Look, I've seen it. It looks awesome. It's going to be cool.
Still trying to get my head around what you can. So Upland are very cryptic, I think, in terms of what you can and can't do. They give you a list of rules that you can't do it, but there's grey areas in between which you can't do as well until you submit it and then knock it back. So then you got to aim high, and then if they knock that back, then just keep taking steps down until you finally work out where that bar is. So then, right, this is what I can get away with, and then submit it through. And then once I've figured out that theme and where that bar is that I can get away with, then I have a whole set of stuff I want to create under that thing, but I'm trying to work out where that bar is first. I'm not going ahead and creating 10, 15 different not map assets, structural ornaments on a certain theme until I know what I can and can't do. Because at the moment, not to be able to sit down with someone or even chat with someone and go, right, this is the problem. This you can do this, but you can't do that. And this is what, if you want this theme, this is how you're going to have to get this theme into the game. Mm-hmm. There's none of that. It's just like, no, you can't have this word. So
Your whole
resubmit
thing
it,
is fucked.
and then you got to wait another 6-8 weeks or longer to have it resubmitted. And you're like, okay, and then someone else probably looks at it
And why don't
differently
they
and
just
goes,
put that criteria out? Like, hey, you can't use these
Because there's-
words or
there's-
this theme.
there's two. I can understand why they've got a list of rules that you can and can't do, so that's fair enough. You can look at that and try and abide to the best you can. And to be fair, one of the rules that I breached was in there, and I was aware of that before I submitted it. But I can look around and see that other people have breached it. When they did that, I don't know.
Was
Maybe
the
they
thing on top?
maybe yeah,
Okay.
maybe they had submitted it before they changed rules. So there's lots of different things. But look, you can only ask. If it gets knocked back, then you can, you know where you stand, and you can try again.
Right.
So they've got the list of rules there, but it would be good if you could get, like, they put in an email and they basically they tick a box for whichever rule you broke. So you kind of get half an idea of what rule you broke, but you don't really get an understanding of where you can be with that rule to not break it, so to speak. Like, you might bend it a little bit, or you might push the boundaries a tiny bit, but you can't get that feedback as to exactly what it is you can and can't get away with. So all you can do is resubmit it with some changes and see what happens. And unfortunately, because it takes so effing long for you to get a reply back, so unofficial, yeah. Again, we'll have to wait and see. I'm just going to just pretend that doesn't exist until it happens. Yeah, so because you can't get that direct feedback, you just have to keep resubmitting, and this could take 12 months because it takes so long for them to get an answer back. If you get resubmitted 4 or 5 times, you're looking at the best part of 12 months just to get one stupid structural ornament in, because you can't get that feedback that you need
Right.
as to what you can and can't do. I mean, like I said, like, you know, the theme I want to try and get through. At the moment, I've just got one micro house on that theme to see if I can get it through, and it's already been rejected once.
The micro
try
house
again.
thing?
Yeah, that's so the other one that you're talking about, the thing on top, that's the end of it. I'm not building any more to do with that. That's done. But that micro house that I've showed you before,
Yeah.
that theme, I want to do a whole series of, like,
Yeah, it's serious.
not collection, but just anything, every type of building that I can ever build for, I want to do a version for. But I'm not going to put the time and effort into it until I know what I can and can't do.
Right.
At this stage, I don't know what I can and can't do, so I have to figure it out. So
Yeah, it's weird that
and
they can't like provide some kind of like real feedback for you.
well, and even if you could got someone that goes, yeah, that should be all right. That's the problem. Yeah, that should be all right. But there's no guarantee the next time you submit it, it's the same person that's looking at it, because I'm almost guaranteeing it's not, and you'll get a different response. There's a lot of inconsistencies with structural ornaments and map assets, which is the
I have a
bugbear of a lot
solution.
of players.
I have a solution. What if we reach out to the people on that team and we invite them onto the show just as guests,
not
just
gonna
come hang out.
No, look, the Shack does a awesome job sort of being the mediator between the UGC world and Upland. I think she's earned the respect and the time of, especially Jason, who's the main community-facing person over there. I don't
Yeah.
believe he's the one that's involved in approving or rejecting stuff. But you can get an idea of, you can speak to these people and get an idea of what you can and can't do. But again, the different people to who's actually approving these things. So, and honestly, you can approve something on one day and get it rejected, but someone else can approve it, put something in for exactly the same concept on a different day and get it approved. And you're like, and Ben will be the first person to give you examples how that's.
Mhm.
And it's just like,
I think I've heard him talk about it a couple times.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll just have to wait and see. I mean, some stuff have been sitting there for a few weeks now. Compared to some people, that's not long. Touch wood. I mean, I check every day, but nothing.
Yeah.
But one day I
Someday,
might be surprised
maybe.
and see something in a factory, and I'm like, yay, I can start building. But
We need to get the Buellman soundboard on here, as we just hit a button and you can say it. One day, maybe someday, possibly,
maybe.
maybe. Fry? What the hell's a fry up? What is this?
Cook up. Breakfast cook up.
What?
Fry up. So probably means
What
bacon and
that mean?
eggs. Probably
Eggs?
bacon, eggs. Yeah, bacon, eggs. Probably other stuff you can have with
Is this a common term?
fry up. Yeah,
I've never heard of this in my life.
fry up, cook up. Yeah.
Okay. If somebody was to ask me for what was for breakfast, I would, if I was making, say, bacon and eggs or something, I would just say bacon and eggs. But look, I don't hate this term at all. I've just never heard of it in my life.
Well, it's no different saying fry up or if you're having a barbecue, isn't it? I mean, it's just the same. Yeah. So.
What do you call a
Just-
barbecue?
But you go around to some friend's house for a barbecue. Like it's the same type of terminology, isn't it? Like you're not saying you're going to have a piece of steak or a sausage, or you're saying you're going to have a barbecue. He's just
We're gonna
saying the
grill.
same thing, but with a grill. So fry up. He's calling it a fry up as opposed
Okay,
to.
I've just never heard it. I'd never heard breakfast in that term before. That's awesome.
So
Bacon,
basically, what
sausage,
he's
egg, hash
describing
browns, beans.
Plus- baked beans.
Hold on.
Yeah,
You have
baked beans.
beans for breakfast?
What he's describing is basically what a lot of cafes, at least in Australia and I assume England as well, and I don't know about your country, I've never been there, would be called like a big breakfast.
We don't have beans though, is the thing. Like beans is like a lunch and dinner thing.
Yeah, but you guys have is it you guys, the Canadians, will have bacon with maple syrup or some rubbish?
Yeah, we do.
See? Like,
Yeah, we do.
I've not tried it. I can't get my head around it.
Scoop that maple syrup with those fucking pieces of bacon and just smash that thing out.
Yeah, I'll agree with him with pancakes. Yeah, chuck the ice cream and maple syrup on that all day long. But bacon's a savoury thing, not a sweet thing, if you ask me. But
Okay. Look, man, I'll eat bacon with damn near anything, to be honest with you.
I'll give you that.
I'm not even a big bacon fan, but you put some bacon on the side next to some eggs and pancakes or French toast and shit. I'm saving that bacon for last. I'm scooping up all the remnants, whatever I just ate, with that damn bacon.
We really should get off very shortly. We've been well over 2 hours already. But what do you think of, just quickly before we go, we'll keep this a 5-minute chat. What do you think of the Paris release coming up? We haven't spoken
It's too expensive.
at all.
We have too many expensive fucking releases
See,
back to back.
what about going to, and everyone keeps pronouncing it wrong. My missus informs me that it's Saint Denis, not Dennis.
Yes, I listened to X1 and he pronounced it Saint Denis, not Saint Dennis, like my bitch ass was saying.
Yep, but you're not the only one. I think a lot of people have been saying that. So
Yeah.
Saint Denis. Anyway, I mean, granted, it's 80% FSA, but that still leaves 20% that your bitch ass could afford. And if I haven't looked at it, but if I understand it correctly, we already know the collections that are there.
Right.
So I mean, I'd almost argue that that's where you should be at instead of in Paris. I know you're not going to get an ultra rare or something like that, which kind of sucks, but
I bought a pass of each one, so I will automatically get one from Saint Denis, and I'll get one from Paris. I will probably go to look. I'm going to go to Paris because if I go to Paris and I buy a property, I'm just going to flip that motherfucker immediately.
you're more chance of making more money
Yes.
in Saint Denis. I'm telling you now, like, because most of the big players will go to Paris.
Mhm.
Paris will not sell out. The 20% that's non-FSA in Saint Denis will sell out. The FSA won't, and then you will be competing against FSAs. But if you do it on a markup value as opposed to a floor price value, you will be able to compete with them from that point of view. It's going to cost more, but most players shouldn't care about paying a little bit more if the markup is less.
Right.
Like I said, so I think it will sell out faster. There's going to be players that will miss out on that city because they'll be in Paris. Because the 20% I would think would sell out fairly quickly, especially
I think so too.
collection. I think anyone that has under a couple 100,000 or so to spend should be in that city trying to take advantage of the collections there and then flipping those collections, because you'll make more money out of doing that than trying to fight the big accounts in Paris. and then paying.
This is why I like talking to you, because you speak sense into me. Look, I'm kind of impulsive at times, and
Yeah.
so you're
Don't get me-
a very rational and like methodical thinker. From
I
what know.
understand the attraction of Paris, but when you don't have millions of uppies to spend, let's face it, one property, like if you've got 200,000 or 300,000, one property can snap that up. Like you see something,
sure.
you go, I really want this property, and you look at it and you go, it's 250,000. Like, don't put yourself in that position. Like, you're better off
Are you
buying.
going over and doing any?
I'm
Paris
almost
or
definitely just going to
Disneyland?
do what I said the other night and probably try and buy a launch property. So I'll probably get one of these properties in the bundle.
Mhm.
And then maybe look at, I haven't looked at any of the research. I know the Assassins have put some stuff out earlier today or yesterday. Banana does his guides all the time. I've never actually seen one of his guides, but from what I understand, they're really, really good, and I'd like to get my hands on them one day. I've just not ever bothered to look at it. 15,000 is not a huge price to pay for some targeted advice.
Right.
And to be honest, if he suggests or his team suggests that a certain suburb or a certain street is a good prospect for a collection, and let's face it, he's not guaranteeing anything, but if he suggests that it's a good prospect for a collection, it doesn't have to be a collection for you to make money on it. If people think it's a collection, they will speculate and buy it from you on the hope that it is. Now, given that we've got more than a week for some collections, I mean, are we going to have to wait? Like, if a certain suburb mints out straight away and that turns out to be a collection, are we going to find out that night that it's a collection? Or do we still have to wait the mandatory week? Like,
we have to wait till Thursday.
The following week? Well, no, because they're not going to reveal collections until they're minted out. They're not telling us when that is.
I know. That's what I'm saying. If say that neighborhood mints out day one, they're not going to tell you till Thursday.
Is that what it says there? I don't remember if I
That's the way I understand it. Is that every Thursday they'll announce.
Okay. So once a week, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. So, but still, potentially you've got weeks to sell in France. You've got weeks to sell something that is speculated to be a collection. Streets will probably mint out straight away, so we'll probably find them out real quick. But neighborhoods, you could have weeks to try and flip a neighborhood for a decent profit. I mean, if people think it's going to be a collection. So with these guides that give you, it's like a targeted shot. So they're probably well worth the money that you spend to get them, because all it takes is one good purchase as a result of that guide, and you've made your money back and some. Let alone, because the neighborhood that you may have never, I mean, I've been to Paris once, but I wouldn't know it from a bar of soap. Like, yeah, I know where the Seine is, and there's an Eiffel Tower in the middle there somewhere, but what neighborhood's good to buy? I wouldn't have a clue.
I have no fucking idea.
So, but if someone else is, I mean, you can sit there and do your own research and try and figure it out, but good luck. I mean, understanding what's good in the real world and what Upland will choose as a collection, two different things. And even these guys that do it every single city release can't nail that. I mean, they can make a best guess. And that in itself can be all you need to make it.
You end up buying a passes for it too?
See, I'm not. No, because they were at 2 a.m. I literally came up a night shift, did 4 hours sleep, and then went to bed at like 10 or 11 o'clock last night and slept till 6 o'clock this morning. By the time I woke up, I saw that people were advertising their passes for sale. I went, oh, that's right. And they're already obviously sold out. So I was like, oh, I miss out. I could have gotten myself up and bought a pass, but I didn't care enough.
The Saint Denis one was...
I don't get why...
until a couple hours ago.
I'm talking about the Paris one anyway. And on top of that, I don't know that I would have bought one anyway, because I don't get these passes. I don't. They are amazing looking passes. They look absolutely sensational. And for a collection point of view, along with the Lake Tahoes and all the other ones they've done, they look pretty bloody awesome. Compared to some of the other shit they released, they look really good.
I love them.
But what do you get? You get one property. You get one property reserved for you. The 2 or 3 times I've done it, it's always been just a nothing property, not even a shit collection property. It's just been a nothing property. You got like a 1 or 2% chance of getting a good property, like a rare or ultra rare or something like that. Like really small chance you jag one of those. So it's just back into that gambling aspect. The Lactahu one meant that if you
Don't
bought
act
that
like
pass,
you
you
don't
could
love to
you could
gamble.
build that unique building. They haven't.
Yeah.
They
I
haven't
think
done.
the
Well, they haven't even
plus
done
is
that.
the
Like, they haven't had that unique building that's only available for a week. Yeah, maybe one day there might have some value. Like maybe one day, eventually, maybe.
You- I don't.
Because
Yeah,
you
the
haven't
building
even had
sounds
those
good.
unique builds. That was the reason I was interested. That was why I was interested in the past, was because you could do the unique build.
Mhm.
They don't even have that anymore. If you want a property, just go there and mint one. You're not going to not mint a property. So why get a pass
True.
to mint a property? That just doesn't make sense to me. Why pay $7 or whatever it is to mint a property that you could just go mint there on the night?
I
so-
just look. I'm a sucker for the
But-
passes. I like the passes. If I get fucked and I don't get what I want, or I can't find one at the right price, then I know I got the pass and I got that thing reserved, and I can, take my time to figure out how to get it if I don't have enough. But I also like
how
the
many
pass,
of
like,
those I've minted myself?
I
I bought for the first few seasons. I bought the pass. That's how many of the past properties that was reserved for me I bought.
I bought
because-
every one but one.
I know. You need
'Cause
to.
I'm a mark
And now
master.
I think people are buying these passes just because of what they saw about the season passes. I think people are just buying them now for that. So
I'm
anyway,
buying them
you
out of
probably should
principle
get going. It's
because
been well
I
long
bought all the other
again.
ones, and so I figured, why not buy this one too?
Well, that's
collect them
how I'm
all.
feeling about the season pass, which I'll no doubt buy.
Yeah, no, same
Well, I
here.
don't collect them because I don't have any of them. I burnt them all, and what did I get for burning them? Nothing.
Mhm.
What would I have gotten if I did burn them? A fucking building.
No
I'm not
shit.
dirty about that, though.
No fucking shit. Which was worth way fucking more than the stupid, dumb bullshit that we constantly get. They're the same three recycled fucking stupid things. Don't get me started. I don't want to start.
That's what we get for paying our what's it like support, paying us, because that's what I deem the
I should
$7
get
is
sparked
not.
for
I'm gonna
enduring
get stuff.
these stupid fucking passes. I should get Sparklet for that. Sorry that they suck. Sorry that we're fucking lazy. Here's some Sparklet for your fucking pain and suffering for having to deal with
Is
the
it-
same three recycled bullshit for the last fucking 3 seasons, you piece of shit.
Is it tonight that all the registration goes up for the bundles?
I don't
And
know.
they're doing it again. You can buy one bundle property for 15,000 or 16,000, whatever it was. Yes, a bundle of one property. Really
I don't
should.
see it. No. Well, it's not up yet.
It's either tonight or tomorrow. I forget. I've lost track.
I
No,
don't
not
know,
up. Yeah,
man.
I'm saying it's tonight. It probably starts at 2 o'clock. Sorry, 2 a.m. for my time tonight. That's probably tomorrow
Yeah.
morning for you.
9 a.m. probably for me.
I can't remember what day it was. Yeah, well, it's nice for you because you never have to translate the time, do you? It's always just your time.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Everything
I live
they
in, like,
announce
the
is always
perfect
just your
zone.
time.
I am in the privileged time zone. Everything just makes sense. I got 0 complaints.
Yeah, just 9 a.m. PT just makes it's 9
Yeah.
a.m.
Oh,
You don't
9
need to
a.m.
use
PT,
PT.
cool. Although it does fucking suck whenever they release all this shit and I'm at work. I cannot get it. I can't get it while I'm at work. That part fucking
So,
blows.
Angry's saying it's tomorrow. So Angry's saying 30 odd hours, so tomorrow night. So I'm a day ahead. But like I said, I've not kept track of what's going on lately.
Yeah, I can't keep my shit straight. I barely know my ass from a hole in the ground these days.
Anyway, there's a lot of good things. They're trying a lot of different things for this release, which I like.
Yeah.
As I said on Ben's show, I personally hate the idea of the collection reveal being the way they've done it, because I like to just go over there. I'd like to miss the launch and just go over and pick up the collections all week after. But
Yeah,
as part from the point of view of the game, I think it's a brilliant move, and it's going to be interesting how it plays out. Is it going to help sell that? I mean, I can see the community pushing to get a certain neighborhood sold out by Thursday, so we can find out whether it's a collection or not. And then like the collective disappointment when it turns out not to be a collection. Like, I'm wondering if any of this is going to unfold in a way that's going to be entertaining, or
I think it's going to be
what
super
happens. Like, it's definitely different. Which, like I said, I'd rather just know what the collections are and go buy them, but that's not really fun, is it? So this is a more fun way of doing it. And it's going to be exciting. I won't get sucked into the speculation side of things. I'll just, if need be, I'll wait 6 weeks, and if this collection's still to mint, then I'll just do that at the end probably. But as opposed to just waiting the normal week. But yeah, what's the bet going to be then?
I don't know.
You said we should place a bet. I'm like, okay, well,
we should place the bet.
We're going to have one.
On what the collections are going to be, or like what, the neighborhood, which one's going to be it.
I don't know.
I'm going to
go read. I'm going to go read all these experts' advice and go, well, they're saying such and such is a good chance, so that's where I'm probably going to buy. If they go street XYZ is a good chance of a collection, I'm probably going to try and buy 3 properties on that street if I can. And then if it's not a collection, I'm like, oh, there's my city collection done. And if it is, happy days. I need to get 3 more for a city collection. That's pretty much the way I'm planning to operate.
Hold on. Speaking of bets, let's
go
completely off topic. We have not solidified the terms of our bet about USA versus Australia women's soccer.
We got to get that done, because that's tomorrow night, isn't it? I think that's the same time as the bundle sale. Yeah, pretty much.
All right, before we kick off, we got to solidify the terms right now.
About 40 hours.
Before we sign off.
So, for those that might have missed it, Aussie girls versus the US girls ladies. My missus will kick my ass at the moment. Aussie ladies versus US ladies in the soccer at the World Cup. They play each other at about 10 a.m. PT. Did I get that right? Your time. So about the time of the bundle release. Obviously, you're going to stick up for your American ladies. I'll stick up for my Aussie ladies, who, despite giving up 5 goals, did kick 6, so that was pretty impressive. So the fact they gave up 5 scares me a little bit, but
did you see who scored the goals?
Women.
I didn't see.
Sorry, who scored?
Did you see who scored the goals?
I can't remember top of my head. I know one of them got a hat trick, but
I bet it was now I'm drawing a blank. I'm just gonna
look. You seem to know more about my Australian women's team than I do.
But Australia versus USA Wednesday at 10 a.m. my time.
So for those that are interested, 1 hour after the release of the bundle sale.
1 hour. Yeah. Well, what are we gonna place on this?
Well, unless someone's got a better suggestion, guys, if anyone out there watching this now or later has a suggestion, spit it out. By all means, contact one of us, but it's gonna have to be super quick. My suggestion was, because eventually one day I'm hoping I'll end up in Las Vegas. I'm assuming you're never going to come towards Australia, but I'll end up at Vegas G Week 1 week. So I was thinking we should have a running tab, and every time we have a bet, we just add to the tab or subtract from the tab. So if you win this one, the tab starts at Swallow's $50, and then we just keep going up and down from there. And then if we ever do end up at Vegas together, whatever that tab is what goes on the bar until that's gone. So if it turns out to be like $400 or $500 over, and then if the tab turns out to be next to nothing when we get there, well, I guess we get a free drink each, or one of us gets a free drink. we can keep track of that pretty easy in Discord. If we give it a name that we can easily search.
Okay. So, well, the conversion rate is going to be tricky.
It's all in USD. Everything's USD.
Okay.
So $50 USD, which is like $700 for us, but
Fuck.
actually, to be
Okay.
fair, it's $1. It's $1.50 the conversion rate, so it's about $75 for us.
$50 then. $50 USD.
$50. We'll run a tab until
Yep.
at some point in the future. It doesn't have to be GWIC. At some point in the future, we're in a pub somewhere together. Whatever that pub is where that tab gets paid.
Okay. I'm down. So the goal scorers were Alana Kennedy. I don't know who that is. Haley Rosso. I know Haley Rosso. Sole. I don't know who that is. Steph Catley. I know. I actually have.
It's not
Steph
the usual
Catley's-
suspects, is it?
Yeah, Steph Catley's autograph. I think actually I have a picture of her holding my child. If I'm being even more honest. And then Michelle Heyman, which is, I thought Sam Kerr would probably score a goal, but she did not. She's probably arguably the best player on that team, but she didn't score a goal. And the fact that actually Steph Catley scored the fucking hat trick because she had a penalty kick too in the 65th, the 78th, and a penalty kick.
Look, I didn't watch the game live. Obviously, I caught up with it the next day
dang.
where they just showed the highlights. And I was already aware that they were down 5-2 and came back and won 6-5, which that side of the story is amazing and well done on them. But they'd want to fix up their letting in 5 goals if they want to do better the next game. But at least they didn't give up. They were 5-2 down halfway through the second half. So to come back and win that in normal time with the last goal being
They won it in the 90th minute.
It was right at it was close to the death, the last goal. So
Wow.
they were lucky. I'd call it more luck than anything else that they got away with that game. I don't know what the rankings are like, whether they should have won anyway or how.
Well, no, they should have won that game. They should beat Zambia all day, every day.
Yeah, but for them to be down 5-2 against them, that was a real issue.
I mean, if we're when USA played Zambia, they beat them 3-0.
This might not be the case next week, so I'll say that now. Go Aussies, kicking your ass in the medal tally. Although
they are.
Although I'm willing to bet that your media is showing the medal tally as the total medals won, not the gold medals won. Which
when I checked on Sunday,
because you had like 20 medals all up, but you only had like 2 gold.
Yeah, Australia was leading the medal race because they have more golds.
Yeah, we're tumbling down now. We always do. Like we always finish
for now.
But we always
you guys are fucking toxic.
We always argue. Australians always argue this every single Olympics. If we could divide our golds by the number of people in the countries that we're from, we would kick the rest of the vast majority of the world's ass.
That's not true. Fiji, I think, actually holds.
There'll be someone out there that
holds the per capita medals per population record.
Yeah, that's it. There'll be some countries out there that will, manage to be able to prove that wrong. But the vast majority, like all the big countries at least, like USA, India, Russia, China, all that sort of stuff. Like when you consider the population size of all these countries versus Australia, I mean, even England, the smallest of all of them, I think that's 70 or 80 million people or something like that, which is still 2 or 3 times. Probably, I think it's closer to 3 times what we have. So divide their medals by 3 and then compare them to us and see how they're going. I don't think so.
No, Australia represents, man. They come correct.
We can swim.
You guys can fucking swim.
Can't run, but they can swim.
You don't need to run when you can swim.
Anyway, it must be after midnight for you.
Yeah. Well, the great thing is I don't have to work tomorrow, so I can just sleep.
Let's talk all night.
I could talk all night. I've almost 2 beers down, 2 big beers. These are heavy ones too.
Nice.
I got 8% over here.
I just couldn't justify sending beer. It'll cost more to send it than what it's worth. That's if it doesn't get lost in the post. And
Look, if everything's a monetary value to you, then yes. But being able to enjoy the fruits of your victory is more valuable to me
All right,
than
what's the name?
any dollar amount.
What's the name of the beer that you're wanting to send me?
I would send you Fort George 3-Way IPA.
Port George.
Yeah, this is a local beer from the coast where I grew up. Well, not exactly where I grew up, but a couple miles away. And this beer is a very popular, very good beer. It's a strong IPA, and it's relatively expensive because they only make it once a year and they collaborate with another brewery.
All right, I'll see if I can purchase that beer in this country.
I highly doubt it, but I hope you can. Wolf, what's up, man? It is late for you, brother.
Must be like he's East Coast, isn't he?
Yeah, it's like fucking 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
3:30.
No, it would appear that I cannot.
No, you cannot probably. This one's hard to find locally.
Yeah.
I bet you can find.
There might have been some, because there are like places over here that will stock like really exotic beers from all over the world.
Really?
And I thought maybe one of those might pop up but even then you can't have every beer from every country because it's just too many.
Do you have 10 Barrel? Look up 10 Barrel. I bet you have that one.
Ten
10 Barrel.
Yeah. First site that comes up as an Australian site, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So that one's made here in Oregon, where I currently live, like about 2.5 hours away. But Anheuser-Busch actually bought them out, but they started it here in a city called Bend, Oregon, where I used to live there at one point. Anyway, yeah, they're a good brewery. They make really good beer out there.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't know what beers you can find on there that they actually sell in Australia, but
I'll have to do some research and then get you to pick some out when I work it out.
yeah,
I do like beers that I'm not like in my younger days I'd drink all day long, but I'm not really like that anymore. I'm more interested in just having the odd beer here and there just to enjoy it, so to speak. Definitely not to get drunk.
Oh yeah,
So-
me neither.
So I'm more than happy to try out all different types of exotic beers and the what do you call it, the boutique or mental
Craft.
blank. No, well, I'm assuming it's the same all over the world, but it's real fashion at the moment for all these craft beers. That's the word I'm trying to think of. To have all these different craft beers. When you go to the different pubs, they just, like you're saying, your beers are produced locally. Yeah, a lot of pubs here, including the hometown, or the town that I'm in at the moment, has a pub that creates their own beers, and it's just all those sort of stuff that you can't get anywhere else. It's something different. So I'm saying
That's
it's cool.
always what I'm after. I always want to find like the local craft beer wherever I go, because I don't drink to get drunk anymore. I just drink because I like the taste of it,
Right.
and I drink socially. Like the only reason I'm drinking right now is because I'm talking to you. I would never. This beer has been sitting in my fridge for almost a month.
Well, I found a local pub type place in my town that sells a whole bunch. Like they must have 30 or 40 different craft type beers on tap. And we were doing like a pub crawl, so to speak. And we decided to have a different type of drink in every pub that we went to in this town. And then we got to this. I had never been there before. It's relatively new to the town, and we walked in there and we saw the wall of different types of beers, and we went, "Oh, I think our pub crawl's ended." We stayed there for the next 6 hours or so, just drinking. And the barmaid had worked out very quickly that not to ask us what to pour us, but if we walked up to get a beer, she would just pick the next one. And she'd ask us what we thought of the last one, and whether we liked it, didn't like it, whether it was too bitter, too sour, whatever, too sweet, all that sort of stuff. And she would just pick the next one and give it. And I don't know how many different beers we had that night. It must have been 15, 20, 30, I don't know. But didn't have the same beer once. It was a great night.
I love that. I have this beer app that I use. I track all the beers I drink and I rate the beers, and it's a pretty cool app. but I don't drink that often, so it's nice
takes
to
a lot.
know like
It takes organisation. That's yeah,
it's
it's not a bad idea, especially if you go back to what that'd be good like, when you don't remember what beers you had. Like you had 10, 15 in a night, and you can't remember which is which.
yeah.
You go back and look
should
at your
download
rating and
the
go,
app.
"Oh, this is
Yeah.
what I rated the best last night," and then you have it the next day sober, and you're like, "What was I thinking?"
Hey, dude, that's happened to me so many times. I'm like, oh, I don't think I've had this beer. And then I go, I get it, and then I look it up on that. I'm like, ah, fuck, I already had this one. I'm like, and I'm taking a drink of it. I'm like, fucking, I rated this pretty high. I'm like, this tastes like shit.
Yeah, that can affect it,
I'm like, I might have been fucked up when I drank that one originally.
possibly.
Yeah, but yeah, the app's called Untapped. It's awesome. It's like a cool little beer social media app. It's neat.
Nice. It'd be good if we could somehow get Laban in there as well, because obviously he does his own craft beers. We should just crash his house and just get
We
him to
should.
supply beer
Yeah,
all night.
what, he lives in Norway.
And it looks like a beautiful. But I mean, Norway was never. Not that I had anything against Norway. I just never ever thought to think that was a country I should go visit until I saw him feature on the Ninjas, and I was like, "Holy fuck! Why have I not considered going to Norway before? I need to consider that."
Yeah,
So we're just gonna come and crash your house one day, Laban.
yeah. We'll go to Levan's house, drink all his
And
good
knowing
beer.
him, we were like, "Yep, bring it on. I'm ready
We'll
whenever
go
you
to whatever beach carries llamas. Apparently,
save llamas."
yeah, shaved llamas. That llama looked funky. That was a special llama. Anyway, should we get off of this thing or what?
I think so. I don't think there's much else we
Fucking,
can talk
we're
about.
pushing 3 hours, man. I don't know what Wolf Warner's doing up at 3:30 in the morning. I know it's summer vacation, but god dang, I'm glad he's here. But fuck,
Woke up and couldn't get back to sleep, maybe.
maybe he just came home. Who knows? Maybe he was out partying.
Half his luck. Peace, fellas. Later. Yeah, see you, mate. We're out of here too.
All right,
All right,
well, later.
Have a good
Yeah,
one.
let's plan for episode 8. What do you say about 9:30 next Monday?
4. You've lost me.
So we should go, but I think
Oh, you
maybe,
mean next week? Next episode.
maybe next week we meet again at
Same time, same channel. All that
same
sort of
time,
stuff.
same place.
Yep.
9:30. What time is
Well, thing
what time does it start for you? 9:30 p.m. my time. It's what,
2:30 p.m. for me.
2:30 p.m.
Next
for
day.
you for tomorrow.
Yeah, but when you said, I'm like, but I'll talk to you in like 10 minutes time.
That's true. We're following bullshit for a while, right after the hit end stream. Yeah, fuck, man. We didn't even touch on everything that I was thinking we were gonna
No.
touch on, but we're just gonna have to pick this up next week. We're already pushing
3
too
hours.
long. God dang. We just keep going. We can talk about Upline all night long.
Yeah, 100%.
100%. All right. Well, everybody, thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed our 3-hour, I would like to say this is special, but it's not. This is just real casual shit. Yeah, just like and subscribe, all the things. And we will check you next week. Same time, same place, 9:30 p.m. Pacific time, 2:30 p.m. Australian Eastern time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Standard time. So,
On whatever day it is. It'd be Monday for me, Tuesday for you. All right.
adios, amigos.
Later. Yeah, cough us out, Swar.